Today is Tuesday, 2/22/22, and we are celebrating our 2-year birthday.
I didn't know that. Is it really our 2-year
Wait, is it really the 2-year birthday?
February 18th.
Wow, this is a bigger deal than we made.
I didn't even know.
What the heck?
That's why I kept it
Wow.
a secret, because I wanted you guys to...
Wow.
Okay,
Wow,
you gotta leave
what a
that whole
time to be alive.
Wow.
I've been here for all 3 anniversaries now. If you count the first one,
Oh,
when we started, it's not really an anniversary.
I was like, what?
It's weird not having to hit buttons.
It's very nerve-wracking for me.
It's nice to have more people read the chat with me, though, Andrew. I appreciate that.
I've got it up.
Ooh, new sub. What's up, Will? Thanks.
Hey everyone, welcome back to a special episode of Empire Radio. I'm Jeremiah.
I'm Drew.
And I'm Andrew. Hey.
Oh.
And he's back, baby!
I'm back. We got the band back together.
But yes, we are back with a book review, The High Republic, The Fallen Star.
Well, yeah.
So we did the book reviews from the previous 2 books with Andrew, and we felt it was appropriate for him to be back to join us because it's a good story. It's an important story.
Yeah, I didn't know that today was the
I didn't.
the celebration of the 2-year anniversary. It's very poetic.
Yes, so
For me.
So our first official podcast episode was on February 18th, 2020. We had one a 5-minute one before that was just kind of introducing the podcast from January. But it doesn't count.
No.
But yeah, this is so it is funny. 2 years on 2/22/22 on a Tuesday.
That is amazing.
It's
What a time to be alive.
all it is as the Force wills it, right?
Hey,
Ooh.
amen and amen.
Amen. Or preach it.
Preach it,
Or-
yeah. Anyways.
Forced it.
Come on.
Yeah, anyways.
Anyway, yes. So, Andrew, how have you been? It's been a hot minute.
It's been almost 2 months now?
Something
Is it
like that.
really?
Well,
Yeah.
month and a half.
Yeah,
however
it's
you wanna.
it's been a while. No, I'm good. I've been busy nonstop since my last episode here. Trying to do stuff and keep a job and live an adult life successfully.
How is the new baby?
Okay.
No, we don't have a. Gosh, we did not have a baby. We're not pregnant.
All right.
So that's not a thing. But no, I've been good. I've been busy. Work has kept me on my toes, and yeah, so things have been going really well.
Well, that's good to hear. We're glad to have you back.
It's good to be back. It doesn't feel it's weird because obviously it's been a while, but then it also doesn't feel like anything's changed, which is really good.
Right.
So
because at normal fashion we started 15 minutes late. So.
Yeah. And Drew almost talked straight through when you were supposed to start the intro too.
Yeah, because
I
didn't,
which happens so many times.
I lost count of the Vader breath, so I was like, oh crap. Which breath am I on?
Are we on 3 or 4 breaths right now?
But yeah, so we have a lot. Well, there's a lot that we're talking about. Andrew, did you want to say anything about? Because we were you said you might talk about other things a little bit. Did you want to talk about that? It's the beginning, at the end, during socials, during.
Here's the thing. I just want to clear the air. So I was told by someone that Jeremiah accused me of spoiling the Book of Boba Fett episode.
Nope, this is real facts, all right.
And no, here's the thing. So Will and I have stayed in touch, and he messaged me the day after the recording, and he was like, "Yo, Jeremiah just straight up accused you on air of spoiling the episode." And it was funny because when I was going back through the day before in my head, I was like, wait, that doesn't make any sense, because I texted him and Drew both
Oh, you spoiled it
separately.
for me too. Yeah.
I didn't spoil. No, I literally worded the text in a way that wouldn't spoil anything. So listen, everyone. So what I said is your mind's gonna be blown and your heart's gonna be happy. That's literally in a vacuum. That doesn't mean anything other than you're
Okay.
going to enjoy the
Okay.
episode. However, any mental processing that happens after the fact
Is on
is
you.
not my responsibility.
Okay. But what in Star Wars
It
makes
could have
my
been
heart?
Rex. It could have been anybody.
Listen, what in Star Wars makes my heart the happiest?
It's not the first half of A New Hope.
It's
Damn.
Ahsoka.
Come on.
Well, I mean, like, it could have just been a good episode.
You could have,
Okay,
but
in
when
Jeremiah's
I hear,
effect, in Jeremiah's defense, 2 episodes before that, you never texted any of us. And then 5, you texted us, and it was really
Well,
good.
okay,
And
first
then
of all,
6, you didn't
how
stop
much
blowing my phone
okay,
up. And then 7, you didn't even text me at all, so I knew 7 wasn't as good because
That's true.
you didn't say hi or
It's
anything.
actually funny because like when 7 hit, I picked up my phone and I was like, "No, I'm just gonna let him talk about it on the podcast."
So when I sat down to do the watch party for 7, I was like, oh, this must not be that good because Andrew didn't text me. I literally said that because I had no
Well,
blow ups.
I mean, to be fair, okay, so I will say that the intent was completely pure because everyone knows I don't do the whole spoiler thing. If
No.
anything, I went out of my way to tell Drew things that were false that day.
Yeah, but the thing is, you always tell me false that Ahsoka is there, and this time you didn't tell me.
No, we are
can't
not
wait
doing
for
this to me
Ahsoka,
tonight.
so
Hey,
therefore,
no.
I
Oh
knew
my
she was in
gosh.
that episode.
but here's the thing: the Cad Bane arrival in that episode
Wasn't spoiled.
was one of the most amazing things
Oh yeah.
ever. So it's like,
yeah.
I would have never been able to guess that. No matter, you could have said Cad Bane is in this episode, and I wouldn't have believed you, and then I would have been shocked like that he popped up. So like,
yeah. Really quickly, if anybody is curious, I had very mixed feelings about that show as a whole.
We all did.
Which show, Boba Fett or Mando?
We're
talking about Boba Fett right now.
No, it was 2 different shows. It was because I remember I watched, what was it, 5? It was 5.
5 was the Mando.
Yeah. I watched 5 with in a watch party with a buddy of mine, like completely random. It was like a spontaneous thing. We were texting. He's one of my church friends from back in Minnesota. And he's like, oh, I haven't seen it either. And I was like, well, I think I'm about to watch it. And he's like, oh, I'm in the gym. I'll throw it up on my phone. So I sent him a link. And we had been having a conversation up until that point about how like we had such mixed feelings about it. Like there's some good parts, there's some bad parts. Didn't really feel great. And then this episode hit and we freaked out. And I remember going into the room and telling Micaiah, I was like, Micaiah, I'm going to go on record and saying that this is the best live action Star Wars we've gotten, for me personally, even over Mando. Like this one episode had it all for me. And I was like, the ironic thing is that Boba's not in it one bit. So anyways, yeah, those 2 episodes are really good.
Did you like 6 over 5 or 5 over 6?
5.
Well, you said 6 was the greatest live action thing.
Whatever episode Luke was in,
that was 6.
Okay, then 6. Yeah, 6 for me was the best one, and 6 for me hit because they did Luke well. That was the thing. Really the deep fake was really good, and then they were really clever about like having him talk for certain scenes without his face being in the shot.
Mm-hmm.
And it like, I mean, he was training his lightsaber. Grogu was doing really cute stuff. It checked.
Theme at some...
Yeah, it checked all the boxes to me for me. I will say 5 was very easily my second favorite live action episode we've gotten in a long time.
And episode 2 was the only like Boba episode that actually like stood above the rest. That's like the train heist and his training.
Yeah, the train heist, that was a good scene.
The whole episode was good because then him like training in the desert and
yeah,
all that jazz.
But then the season finale, man.
You didn't like it?
It is what it. I mean, it was enjoyable. I
Yeah,
think.
like
I think.
our overall thoughts were like it was fun. It's a
Yeah, it
fun
was fun.
episode.
I mean,
it was
like
meh.
there's literally nothing you can hate about Boba Fett riding a Rancor. You know,
True.
like there's
Facts.
nothing. Like that shows up, and you're like, okay, yeah, this is great. You know,
Yeah.
but like there was a lot. There was a lot about that episode. Okay, so like very rarely, you guys know this from our time together in the past. Very rarely in the moment do I see things. Normally it's only like the second or the third watch that I go back and I'm really nitpicky. But like in the first watching of that episode, there were things that were taking me out of the episode. Like I know it's a running joke now, but this spin,
Oh yeah.
this freaking stupid. He did that spin, and I was like,
Dude, he would have got capped like 4 times in the head.
why? But like the first
Yeah.
spin, when Mando does a spin, I saw someone break it down. And tactically, the first spin makes 100% sense. Like it actually, because of the where his arms were and the way he was facing, like it makes sense. But then the second spin, I was like, dude, what the freaking heck?
You know, I was like, everyone was complaining about that, and like I didn't like rewatch it yet or pay much attention to it. I was like, well, I thought it was like tactical because he had the one eye, so I thought maybe like he had to
But his
turn
one eye
around.
is better than his other eye.
That's my point. Like maybe he turned
Oh.
because it would have made it better him see better, like
Shot?
going from a different angle. And then I was like, it turned the opposite way. I'm like, okay, whatever.
Oh, I was gonna say,
maybe
I don't
maybe
see
that
it.
was maybe that was like the trigger to activate his targeting. Like for some reason, when he got his mechanical eye, the Thundercat was like, hey, okay, so if you want to turn your targeting on, you got to do a full 360.
True.
Which would have been even stupid. And
Maybe-
also,
maybe it was just meant to confuse the
spinning
enemy.
is a good
Like,
trick,
why the
though.
heck is this guy spinning? And then you shoot him.
no, spinning is a good trick in the right moment.
It's kind of like
when you-
like in boxing. You gotta go like this, get
Ah,
that done, and then boom with the
What is
other
this
hand.
freaking? What is this? Wii Sports? You
Yup.
wrapping it up? Which, by the way, they're coming out with the new Wii Sports, so that's
Oh,
fun.
they are. Oh, I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
Will told me that. I'm pretty sure. Thanks, Will. But yeah,
Oh, and then
there
the
were
Force Unleashed is being released on.
yeah on Switch. Yeah. But yeah, I mean that episode, it was a mixed bag for me. Like I loved Cobb Vanth in like he like went from maybe top 10 characters to easily like maybe top 5 if not top 3 for me in like the on-screen media at least. And then it was like the townsfolk showed up in the space pickup truck with the gun on the back, and they were like, Cad Bane gunned him down in cold blood. But then he's alive?
It was stupid. I don't want to talk
It's
about
like there was a lot of stuff in that episode in particular that I was like,
Well, yeah, but
what's your motivation? Why are you doing this?
We thought Fennec
Like,
was dead, and she was laying in
Yeah.
the desert for a hot minute. So maybe they thought he was dead, and maybe he stole his body.
No, he probably was dead.
no,
And-
you don't die from getting shot in the shoulder.
Well,
It's like dude, it's
Apparently
a
you
blaster.
do.
It's a blaster bolt. It burns
Okay,
you.
if you
And
hit
sure,
an artery, you're dead in like 15 seconds.
but not if you get hit right here. Even
I
if it
don't
goes
know.
through you.
either
don't know.
way, it's just like
And if it hit like an artery or something, like it would cauterize the wound anyways.
true. And also, he shouldn't have been the one in that. Can we all agree?
Who do you think it should have been? The freaking deputy?
He thought Cad Bane was going to
I
be in
think
there.
Cad Bane should have been in there.
He's like, oh, because he
Oh.
saved his life, so now he's
Okay,
in debt to Boba.
So
That's
I
stupid.
actually
How is
thought
that stupid? That's
no.
dumb.
But listen.
I'm going to kill you, then force you to follow me by saving you. Like that doesn't make
I
sense.
legit thought that was going to be who was in the tank.
Thank you.
I actually, when he was like, someone's using it, and then you see it and it's like
But
slowly
it
panning
makes
out.
no sense though.
You know what
Why?
doesn't make sense? Why is freaking Cobb Vanth going to become a cyborg now?
Because he
yeah, exactly.
got injured and he needs to be repaired.
I don't know. Unlike you, Andrew, I do not
Okay,
care
wait a
about
second,
Cobb
wait a
Vanth
second.
as a character at all.
But like Boba Fett got burned by Sarlacc's stomach acid
twice.
twice and didn't need any sort of altercation. This dude gets shot one. Anyways, that's all I'm saying. There was some things I loved about the series.
Yeah.
Most of it didn't have to do with Boba Fett.
Our
There, I said it.
Drew and I's biggest issue with like the finale was it didn't point forward to more
Didn't
story.
do anything.
No.
Like we thought we were gonna get a big like name drop like Thrawn or something like was gonna show up at the end for like what the next series is. What's something this big, you know, the Filoni-verse, the Mandoverse, whatever you want to call it, like all these stories coming together.
Yeah.
We thought there was gonna be a big point to that in this episode. We thought maybe Omega was gonna show up. We thought
yeah.
Kira was gonna show up.
Kira. I
Now,
thought
see-
Kira was.
Yeah.
But dude, what if we? I saw somewhere that someone's like, you know what should have been in there? Jabba should have been in there. Like, they should have modded
Like a
found
cyborg.
Jabba. They found Jabba in the sand and they modded.
Yeah,
him.
it. Anyways, this isn't about Book of Boba. I have a lot of
mean-
things, but yeah,
All right.
it was a mixed bag. I'm excited for Mando and Ahsoka and Kenobi, and so help me, here it's on record. And I think I've said this before, but if Disney ruins Kenobi,
Oh,
there's going to be hell to pay.
I think you're gonna say you'll be back for the Kenobi.
I might be actually. That might be.
It's only 6 episodes.
Dude, well, everyone knows. I've said it on air. Like that's the thing I've been looking forward to the most out of all of these shows, and
Right.
then just under that, it's Ahsoka.
True.
So, anyways,
All right, but this isn't the Book of Boba Fett. This is the High Republic book.
that's true.
So, The Fallen Star, the 3rd book, and what I thought was going to be a trilogy, but it seems like it's not going to be a trilogy.
It's just phase 1.
Phase 1 of 3.
What is phase 2?
Well, it's a trilogyception. So there's 3 phases, and there's a
Oh.
trilogy within the phases.
So there's 9 books.
I don't know, but I just wanted to say trilogyception. So
Okay, I thought that was a technical term for book readers, and I was like,
No,
I don't know what
no.
these terms are.
nope.
This is Jeremiah's 3rd book he's read in the last.
This is
His whole
book.
life.
Oh, sorry.
4th
fourth.
book. I read
His whole-
Ahsoka.
This is 4th book ever. I'm
I'm
joking.
Close.
Yeah. So you've read all 3 of these. You read Ahsoka. Now you
Now
need
you
to.
just need to do Thrawn.
Yes.
If you want Andrew to keep coming back for episodes,
Bro,
you gotta start reading the Thrawn books
do the
now.
Ascension trilogy.
I was thinking like before, like you know, sometimes during like the Wesley Andrews ad, I like show something on screen. It's like get you guys reaction. I was thinking, man, I should have had like
Thrawn
Thrawn,
book?
all the Thrawn books, and just like
Oh.
pick them up and show.
Dude, the third Drew, where are you at with the Ascendancy trilogy?
I am on. I think I'll finish the book 3 tomorrow.
So you're
I've-
reading 3?
So after I read finger quotes. I didn't actually read this book. I listened to it.
Okay.
But after I did that, I'm like, dude, I busted out a full book in 2 shifts, like a shift and a half. I just kept listening to all the books I already had. And
Yeah.
so I finished the 3rd of the original Thrawn
Yep.
that I didn't finish, and then I already finished the 1, and then I finished 2 yesterday, and then I'm halfway through 3 right now, and I should
Dude,
finish 3 tomorrow.
3, that 3rd book is one of my favorite Star Wars books ever.
Dude, this
Oh.
book right here. Well, that was Cheeto.
Yeah, the
We've-
Grand Admiral has made a comeback
we've-
apparently.
We've missed him. But this book right here that we're talking about tonight, you guys, this might be my second favorite book of Star Wars.
Really?
Under
Wow.
the Lost Star. And I think it's kind of funny that they're both of Carter Gary's,
Claudia Gray, and they're both really dramatic too. So
which I like. I mean, this might be a hot take, but I think she's my favorite Star Wars writer.
that's not a hot take,
That's not how she's like one
Mikhail-
of the main people.
dude. Like
I don't
Mikhail
know,
loves
I feel like
Claudia Gray.
like Timothy Zahn's really good though. Like I love
well,
him.
okay,
Yeah.
I'm biased towards Timothy Zahn,
Yeah,
but like she's
I
great.
like both, but dude, I love this book. When I realized that she wrote it, I was like, "Oh, I'm going all in. This is it." And this also
Yeah.
made me want to start reading Lost Star again for the 7th time. But
All right,
I want Jeremiah to read it.
I'm not gonna read a love story. Sorry.
It's not a love story. Oh my gosh! it's not
Sorry.
a-
I will tell
it's
you that for the
best
first
Star Wars book, dude.
that is
ask
very
David.
subjective.
Ask David. David,
Okay,
you're
well,
listening.
that's also very subjective because it doesn't hold a freaking candle to any of the Thrawn books to me. So, but we
But
like different things.
You never finished it though.
because I gave up.
Exactly. It gets better. Trust me, it gets way better. You're not even halfway in.
Does it get
Like-
juicy?
Oh, it gets like this book, dude. I'm telling you.
There, but I'm looking at my bookcase over here, and I've got Revan, the Bane trilogy.
I'm talking about canon books here. Calm
Yeah,
down.
No,
remember,
okay,
if it's
I'm
not canon,
back.
it doesn't,
No,
like,
no.
Reel it in.
You wanted me as a guest, and you think we're not going to talk about the expanded universe? Come on.
Yeah, you're a guest. You can't like overtake what you're.
No.
You gotta learn your place here.
All right, but the Fallen Star. What did you guys overall? What are your overall thoughts? What do you guys think?
Well, I'll
Who
go
wants
first because I pretty much already said. But I think it's like my number 2 favorite books. It's by far my favorite book out of these books. It's for sure the first one. I don't even remember any of it really.
Wait,
Yeah.
really?
Really, I don't.
I kind of forgot a lot about from the first book.
Dang.
Like I remember like the disaster, but like I
remember the disaster. Like I remember the key. Like this is the bad guys. These are the good guys. The
But, like,
characters,
I
but I don't
don't-
really remember.
I don't
much.
remember a lot. So then I was like, dang it! Like I kind of like forgot about Rose's like motivation. Like what was his reason? Because like I felt like he went over that in his first book, and like I don't even remember.
It was more so the second book.
That's even worse.
That makes it even worse.
Well, I mean, like they kind of establish him as a character in the first book, and then he like slowly starts to rise to power, and then like in the second book, towards the end of the second book, he's like, "Nah, we're
'cause
changing the way we're doing things."
Didn't he pretty much he took over
In the second one,
in
yeah,
the second one?
and then this one, obviously, he's the main bad guy. Like they don't even really mention any of the other Tempest runners. Like, yeah, there's
Well,
even
they
one point
barely
where,
mention him in this one too.
yeah, but
honestly.
I mean, it is what it is. You still feel his presence,
Oh,
with-
you definitely do.
you know. So
I don't know, for me, like I felt like out of all 3 of these novels, this was the book that was. It didn't feel like it was all over the place for me. The first 2 books, I felt like I was like there were some times where I'm like I don't even know where I am. I thought I was reading like a Game of Thrones novel where like these characters' names I don't even recognize. You know what I mean? Like I just felt like this book it felt more close knit
well,
in a way.
you want to know why that is?
Why?
Because it literally had one main setting
Oh, maybe that's why.
for most of the book.
Yeah.
But for real, like in the second
Yeah.
book, there was a lot going on. Like, and not only that, but I think you have to subconsciously keep track of like, okay, what is Belle doing with Indira? Why are they over here at the shipyard? And then then the ship is like kind of its own setting, but then everything's happening on Valo, and then within that, it's like it was just much more widely spread out.
Yeah.
Whereas like there's a lot of characters. I mean, I don't think there was any fewer characters in this book than any of the other
They're
ones.
just
Maybe
on one
a handful.
place,
But
pretty much.
yeah, but it's like you had really 2 locations. You had the upper half, you had the lower half, and
Yeah.
really most of it happened in the lower half of
Yeah.
the station. So
And like the hangar bay is like another part. Of it.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't know. It just felt like, and it could be her writing too, but it just felt like it was easier to follow along.
Yeah,
I don't
can see
know.
that.
Like it flowed a little bit better. I don't know. I enjoyed it a lot. I thought it was a really good book. I like where they're going with the story, and I like this is weird, but I like the way they kill off characters in these novels. Like
Yeah, it's a
in the
departure.
sense of like they actually do it.
Yeah,
Like we were just talking about how in Star Wars, like if we don't see them like dead,
yeah,
like they're not dead. Like Cad Bane, we heard a beep. Everyone
was-
thinks that boy's alive. That boy's alive, probably.
yeah.
Most likely.
There
right?
were a few parts in this where I remember thinking, "Oh, we don't really know," and then it's like, "And so died," and I'm like, "Oh,
Yeah.
oh."
It's like-
Well, that makes
or like the
it
whole
really
time
obvious.
we thought the Wookiee was still alive, or like I guess we don't know. I guess
We don't. We'll get to that.
Yeah, but yeah. So like, there's this. For me, it just like I loved like I like the way they actually killed off. They're like, he's dead, and they're like, oh frick, like that. This is intense. I just thought, and this whole book is very intense.
Yeah.
Like the other two books had a kind of, well, the first one for sure had a really slow start to get to everything. And then this book, the second one had a little bit, it took a little bit. And then once the event happened, then it was intense. Like at the end of the book was really good. I felt like this was the whole book was like in an event. Like it was so crazy. So I enjoyed it. I thought it was a really fun read. And yeah. Granted, I read it super quick because I listened to the whole thing. So maybe it was harder to read along. I guess I never actually read along with it. So
I will tell you that I would imagine it would be more difficult to read without the audio because there are so many in chapter scene changes,
yeah.
tons of them. And so I can imagine it being really, really helpful to have because they probably had like a full cast or at least one.
Full cast. The
It was
Wookiee,
or like Mark Johnson doing all the voices or something.
I think so. But like for instance, like when the Wookiee would talk,
Yeah.
instead of it say like Wookiee talked and then it said the
Yeah.
word,
Yeah.
it was like they they had his voice in the background, like a Wookiee
Yeah.
talking,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then his like the higher pitch part was actually the words coming out.
Yeah.
It was like
Yeah.
so well done. But then there were some times where the back audio, it was annoying me. Every time they went to the bay, the same droid made the same beeping noise in the background every 5 seconds. So for one chapter straight, it was just like beep 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 beep. It was so distracting.
Well, that's what it's like being on a spaceship,
That's
Drew.
fair. That's
I
probably
mean,
true.
we all know.
It's immersive.
Yeah, it's immersive.
I was just like, okay, this droid needs to die. Please blow this thing up.
But like, oh,
it was
it
annoying.
probably did.
Oh, definitely did. It was in the
But
upper half. So yeah.
but like,
She gone.
but yeah, I would imagine that was a lot easier to follow because there were definitely times that it took me a sentence or two to be like, oh yeah. Okay, I remember what's happening with these other two people in the other part of this space station. So,
and the more characters they kill off, the more the story is probably going to be easier to follow along.
nah, they'll add more.
Oh,
They're gonna.
yeah,
I mean,
sure.
remember,
There's
there's like they can literally just pull a Jedi out of thin air now
Also,
and be like,
I
"Hey, he's a
do
main
like-
character."
I do like the point that Yoda actually had like lines in this. Like he said things, like he was talking, but it was like more like not like a thought. Like before, it was like Yoda taught me this, and it was like Yoda actually talking through.
Well,
the
they must have
teaching.
changed that because it was still flashbacks in this book too.
No, it was still flashback, but it felt like it was like
Oh,
not just one word. It was like
oh,
two sentences, and before it was like Yoda's in the background with his hand out. Like,
oh, yeah, I got you.
you know, I hated that part, but you guys know that.
I got
Just
you.
don't put him in there. But oh yeah, isn't he like on leave right now, Yoda?
No one
in
knows where he
these
is.
He's with you, Luke. Like
He's with Yaddle.
he's with making Grogu.
Oh,
Fan fiction, Jeremiah. Write it
No.
down.
Andrew, you want to come back for my
No,
Yoda
no.
Yaddle love?
I'm gonna be busy for every single one of those recordings. I can feel it in the force now. Anyways, so I thought it was good. I thought there were parts reading it that felt slow to me and kind of predictable because a few chapters in, you're like, you know what's happening. Okay. So for example, we just recently watched the K-drama All of Us Are Dead. I don't know if Drew, have you seen that one?
Really good,
Bro, it is so
People are
freaking
hyping
good.
it up, but
Yeah.
everyone says go watch Kingdom. So I'm like,
Well, it is Kingdom is they're two completely different things.
okay, but Kingdom's
They're both
better.
zombie shows, but one is like in medieval Korea, and the other one is modern
day. Yeah.
like so modern day that they reference COVID in it.
Oh damn.
It's like real modern day, so
Ooh.
very different. But in this show, they did a really good job of like the storytelling device where, especially in like disaster movies, where you the viewer see things happening that you're like, oh no, homegirl got bit, it's over. It's starting. But like none of the characters in the story know what's happening, you know?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So there was a lot of that for the first little bit of the book. It was like, okay, the saboteurs are on Starlight Beacon. Oh no, they sabotage another system.
Yeah, it was kind of
No one
predictable.
found them. Oh no. And then of course like the stuff with the Force is happening, so it pretty quickly you're like, "Oh no. The Jedi they should be able to know this is happening, but they can't because of this thing." And then all of a sudden, one of them dies. And it's like it's very enjoyable, but it was predictable for me. Cuz I'm like very quickly it kind of hits that you're like, "Oh, so
Yeah,
they're
but
going to try to
didn't you?
blow up the space station, but the Jedi could stop them. So what do? They use the one thing against the Jedi that like completely denies their ability to use the Force correctly, you know? Um,
I honestly
so
think maybe it's because I listened to it. Because
yeah, it's
even
probably a very
even
different
when they
experience.
like talked about, or when they're walking through that place to try to figure out what is stopping the force or causing the issues, like it
Yeah.
has like an eerie like ghost
Right.
sound, and I was getting chills. I was like, dude, this is intense. Like I felt
Yeah,
like I was
yeah,
like
yeah.
listening to like maybe like it became a zombie book or something. Like I was like, I
Oh
don't know
yeah.
what's going on. Like this is intense. So yeah, maybe it's listen to the book, you guys.
Yeah.
Just listen to Star Wars books
So
because it's like
like
a movie, dude. They're so good.
yeah, it was really good. I enjoyed the fact that there was no punches pulled in this one. Like you said, like you really got a sense that no character was safe.
Yeah.
Obviously, because so many of them died. So many
Mhm.
characters that like I was like, oh, I really hope they survive, and then they just get killed off. And I'm like, dang. And sometimes it's like one after the other within like a chapter.
Mhm.
So I enjoyed that. I enjoyed the intensity of it. She did such a good job of like helping me feel like actually get caught up in the emotions of like because there were constantly times when I was reading it that I was like very evident that of the feeling of like time is running out and like I could imagine being like trapped on the space station and like being on the cusp of going into the orbit of the planet or the atmosphere and like falling to my death. And the constant theme of like hope versus despair was really good for me. Like I enjoyed the intensity of it. I think it started a little slow for me personally, but like once it got going, I thought it was really good. Um, and obviously, like there's a theme within these first three books of disaster, and I think they do a really really good job of telling story through disaster in the midst of it, rather than taking like a third person approach of like the ship's burning up and it fell into the atmosphere. Like, no, you're like in the middle of it.
Yeah.
Like it was interesting. There were a few moments when when Bell finally uh triggered the explosive and the medical tower separates and he's safe on the ship. There were moments where like I truly felt relieved when I read that he was watching it from afar. And then you go back into a character's perspective in the space station and you're like and I felt tense again. It was really strange. Like she did a really good
That's
job of
I was
writing
gonna
it
say
in.
that's a good writer then.
Yeah,
Like if they
it was
give you
very
that
immersive
moment.
for me,
Yeah.
but I think the first few chapters were a little slow. Um Especially getting the realization like, oh, this takes place in one place. I thought,
Yeah.
oh, we're gonna get some different locations. Like, no, Starlight Beacon, it's the main thing. But then it pays off in a really good way later on. Um, my I loved the character development that happened in this story too. We can get into that, but I mean, overall, I thought it was great.
Jeremiah. Jeremit?
Jeremit,
All right, comes to me. So I would say overall, the more I progressed into the story, the more I liked the book. So
yeah,
like
yeah,
Andrew, you said it was kind of started out slow. I was like, yeah, I kind of agree with that. But as the story kept progressing, I was getting more and more involved and more eager to read the next chapter and all that stuff. I see, Andrew, you said that you felt it was predictable, but I don't think it was predictable at all. Like, because I didn't even like the whole time when they're trying to figure out like there's like figuring out like something's wrong with the forest, something's going like I didn't like I knew I was waiting for this creature that we were introduced to from last book, but
Yeah.
like they never like said it. So like I didn't
Right.
so like I
Right.
didn't want to like assume that.
I also forgot about that creature
So like I
completely.
was waiting for it to show up like at some point in this book. Like I didn't realize that that's what it was until they actually did it,
Well,
like showed it or
it
whatever.
was interesting for me because I think I just caught like there are clues if like if you go back and really pay attention, there's like a moment um there's a moment when they feel the shift, and it's the moment the saboteurs land. It's only after that that the shift is felt, and then it talks about how like when they're in the cargo bay and they're like, yeah, Rathars, and it's like the droids like looking at the permit. And it's talking about like droids don't really care as long as the permits were in order, and there's Rathars, and it's like this almost like it just like slides past you. It's very nonchalant, but it talks about how they left one of the ships open and two shadowy figures or like a shadowy figure like left the ship.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking in the moment like why would she go out of her way to put that sentence in?
Mm.
Because it wasn't like a and the Raptar rolled. I mean like dude, Raptars are huge. Like it would have been more than just like and a shadow slipped off the ship, you know.
Well, I remember that scene with the droid talking about the Rathars, and I was like,
Let me see.
I didn't get it. Like I was like,
Yeah. Well, because it was it took me until shortly after when they started feeling the effects, I was like I had to go back and be like, "Wait a second. This is the thing," you know, cuz like she did a really good job of like kind of sliding it in there. I'm going to see if I can find it while you're talking.
right.
Forgot my book.
So so yeah, so like, but what I really like though, 'cause, like I was kind of picturing this as like a movie or a show. Like obviously, like we have pictures in our heads, but like
Yeah.
I think what they could have done if they made this like a live action TV series,
Oh, whew.
like
That would be amazing.
every single time a Jedi was on screen, they could have done the shepherd's tone in the background,
Oh
and
yeah.
and
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah. Yeah.
it would have
Yeah,
been
yeah.
like very subtly, so like we could hear that tone like of tense feeling every single time, just to like add to like there's something in the background in the perspective of the Jedi. Like I was kind of picturing that the whole time
You should
of
definitely
like,
listen to the book. It does
does it
have,
have a shepherd tone?
yeah. They have like Jedi like the theme like constantly throughout it, and it's literally like watching a movie without visually seeing it.
Right.
Like even like all the acting, I think he does a lot of the voices, but like they all sound like their own characters, and like even the way the same guy I believe does the Thrawn books, and like Thrawn's voice is intense, so well done. Like I've said this before, like if you are into Star Wars books but you don't have a lot of time, just get the audiobook and it's amazing. Like it's worth it because even like the all the ships, all the guns, like it's all the same. Like it's real. There, it's not like a guy just reading a book to you. Like it's very
Yeah, it's
interactive.
not a guy just reading a book.
No, it's not.
Right. But so even though I more and more enjoyed the book, I felt like they could have had solutions earlier on that they didn't use. And so
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
like
But
they
you don't
could
think
have
that's because of the block?
no, because it's all practical things. Like Bell doing the thing with the medical tower, that was all practical. And like when that whole thing with Bell happened, I was like they're utilizing airlocks. I'm like, they could have found an airlock somewhere and just
Yeah.
used an airlock. You use the sabers to open up an airlock and then had ships like evacuate people. But like the one thing that I totally thought they were going to do because they made it sound like they're setting it up, but I totally thought Geode was gonna go out in space without a spacesuit and open
Oh yeah,
the bay doors or something.
yeah. I could.
Because
Yeah,
they talked about like
yeah.
3 pages about how his species could survive in space for like 2-3 days without any air,
Yeah,
blah blah blah. I'm like, perfect. They're gonna put him outside. He's gonna moonwalk out there
that's
and
true. He could have done
like
that already.
done the thing that was it Leox? Is that how do you pronounce that name?
Leix. Yeah,
He
I
has
got
a thick Southern accent,
yeah. I imagined him with a
like
southern
a
accent.
so like I
thick
thought
Southern
that's what
accent.
so that's what I thought Geode was gonna do. Like
Yeah, that's fair.
so I was like, why didn't they do that? Um, and like the whole thrusters thing, like they could have definitely went down there way earlier and figured that out.
So really quickly, so there's a conversation that happens between the Nihil people, and one of them asks, "Those things back on the ship." I've been thinking, those things back on the ship, don't they have to be fed? None of them will live much longer, but it doesn't matter. I imagine they're feeding already. And then there's a little break. There's like a scene change. And it says, unbeknownst to the Nile team, one of the passengers had already gone in search of a heartier fare. A small astromech droid whirring about while checking sensors in the cargo bay heard a loud metal bang, as though plating had fallen off of a hole or hatch had been forced open. It whirled toward the sound to find a cargo ship, small and nondescript, with its hatch open. Within, the astromech could see shadowy movement. Swiftly, it checked the cargo manifest, then whistled an alarm. Rathars, those were life forms that required immediate containment. The astromech rolled forward, connected with the ship's hatch controls, and was rewarded with an almost instant closing of the door. And then turned and scanned its immediate vicinity for Rathars, found none, and went contentedly on its way after a job well done. Any sentient wouldn't have known that Rathars don't hesitate to burst out of any containment, would have searched for anyone or anything else that might have escaped that cargo ship. Instead, their cargo bays were run by droids, and droids were more easily satisfied. So it was like,
Yeah,
it
but it
was
also
like,
kind of made it seem like it could still be.
yes, that's what I'm saying. But if you put the pieces together, you're like, oh yeah, that's a little different. But I can also see how you could like completely miss that,
Yeah,
because it wasn't shortly after where they start feeling the force thing, and then they have a conversation where they're like, "Oh, though there's supposed to be Rathars on the ship," and like one of the Jedi's like, "No, Rathars couldn't make us feel this way," you know. So, but yeah, Geode was a special character for sure.
Yeah. Um,
I liked him a lot.
no, what the one thing I didn't really like about this book was that it wasn't connected to the second book as much as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah,
Because,
yeah,
like, now obviously how this book ended, the story is going to continue. So
yeah, yeah,
I have to keep that in mind now. So I kind of, but like, I thought like we were going to get more about like that technology that like could stop weapons like blasters and lightsabers from working. I thought that was going to come up in
oh
this book.
yeah,
I thought
I forgot about
that
that.
that mysterious Jedi girl, that Ty Yorick
Oh
girl,
yep,
I thought she was going to be in this
dude, I totally
book.
forgot about.
And
I
like
barely remember any of that.
so like I thought all of this was going to be more tied to those events and or those characters, and it wasn't. And I was kind of spoiled about this book
it
before it came
wasn't
out.
my fault.
No, but like there's like the special edition or something like cover,
Oh yeah,
and it's literally the Starlight Beacon like falling
yeah,
from the
yeah.
sky. I'm
Well, I
like,
mean the
oh,
name,
okay.
the
Well,
name.
I didn't want to assume that because Stellan Geos, he's the star of the Jedi. That
I
maybe
guess I could
he's
see
gonna
that. I can see
fall.
it.
When
Okay,
technically, spoiler,
okay, just don't.
no,
he
it's
did
not.
he did fall, and he was the star, and
Dang.
I didn't. I don't.
he's
He's alright.
He's one with
dead.
the Force. Right?
He's dead. He died.
So like
Stellan is gone.
I thought that, or maybe I thought it was gonna maybe refer to Elzer. I thought that like it was gonna be him because like he was turning to the dark side at the end of the book. He used the dark side. I was like, okay, maybe it's gonna touch more on him struggling with the dark side. And it didn't happen. But when I saw that the special edition book, I was like, oh, I guess it's all about
Don't
this.
buy the books at Target, then you won't get that special edition.
No, I
Well, the
saw
one
him,
on-
I saw it on like
The one on Target
article.
isn't the special edition. It's this one.
Yeah, that's one I got.
No, but I think doesn't the what's it called?
I just saw it on the internet. Like I didn't
I was
even.
gonna say, but doesn't the poster in there have the picture
No.
of the star?
Yeah, I don't have a
No?
poster in mine.
Yes, you should. If you got a Target, I have a poster in mine.
I got mine
Well-
off Amazon. Sorry.
Or wait, do I have a poster in mine?
You should. Yes, you should.
No, I don't.
No.
Anyways,
You got
No
yours at
posters.
Target?
yeah.
Oh,
I
I got
do-
mine at Target, and there's a poster, and it's literally that image of the star falling,
Oh,
the building
huh?
falling.
Did I
You
get
got some-
gypped?
Someone grabbed your poster.
They might have actually.
But
Now that I think about it, people do that all the time.
anyway, I was super shocked that they killed off Biraga,
Man, Burry.
Burry. Like I really enjoyed him and Belle in this
I did
book.
too. I
Like
did
their
too.
relationship was so great, and then
Yeah.
and then Belle's words to Elzer at the end about his learning his. I gave up on Loden.
Yeah.
I thought he was gone. I gave him. If I searched for him, I could have saved his life. I'm not going to do that same mistake with Briag until I find him. And I was like, dang. And I was surprised that a book made this happen to me. But when the droid gave Stellan's
Oh.
saber, I started crying a little bit. I didn't think a book could ever do that to me. I got a little teary eyed. I was like, I like started breathing. Like, okay, calm down, Jeremiah. This is just a book. But
Dude, I mean it was a heavy hitter for sure.
It was pretty good.
and
When that happened, I remember I was bagging up coffee and I dropped the bag. I was pretty shocked.
Wow.
I was like,
and I was completely shocked when Elzer killed that chick at the end.
Oh yeah.
I
Same.
had to read it again. I'm like, I did not just read that correctly.
Same.
And I was shocked. But
oh, he's gone off the deep end.
Not necessarily. Not
Yeah,
necessarily.
okay.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing, and we can get into this later. But this is another reason why I think the Jedi
Our fault.
should have done things very differently. And one of the reasons why the Jedi is still my favorite representation of the Order.
I have to go
Because-
back and
because-
listen to that EU with Andrew.
Because of the way that they allowed things and they sought balance within themselves. So it wasn't like, oh no, I can't have feelings for Avar, which obviously a ton of stuff had happened between them, emotionally,
I-
otherwise.
I thought it was interesting
Otherwise.
that they mentioned that it's common for the younglings to have.
Well, I mean, dude, but
relationships.
come on.
No,
co-
but
But for
I
real,
I
like,
I understand.
they
For real,
acknowledge something.
it's freshman year all the time. Yes, I understand that
Yeah.
there's situations that happen, but we are thought to assume that,
Yeah.
growing up watching Star Wars, that Anakin was the only one with this issue.
Where did it say this in the book?
It said it in the book.
Yeah, it's was it this one or was it the last
No, it
one?
was this one because I remember.
Yeah, it talked about how Jeremiah, that a lot of times the masters were even aware of it. Like
Yes.
younglings or Padawans would get really close and they'd suspect some sort of an attachment, romantic or otherwise, would be forming, and then the masters would take them on like a long-term mission somewhere else to split them up. And then it would essentially
I remember that.
And
Yeah.
instead of
So,
freaking
like 3 years
addressing the
later,
issue,
yeah, they hide it. They sweep it on the rug, and then in 3 years later, they're so much more of a Jedi that they don't care about that anymore.
yeah, well,
Essentially,
look how that turned out with Anakin, and literally all the
well,
Jedi
that's
are
what.
dead.
But you know what
So,
I mean, though. Like,
Well, yeah, but they didn't take him away from Padme. He spent the whole Clone Wars on and off with
well,
her.
they
So
did
like,
take him away from Padme because he fell in love with her, and then for years he was under Obi-Wan, and they didn't see
yeah,
each other.
okay, but let's be
And then he
real.
came back. He's
No
like,
one
"You're
knew
more
that though,
beautiful for a
because he was a
senator. I
little.
mean,
He was a little child.
I don't like sand.
It gets
oh
weird.
god,
It's rough and it's coarse." Anyways,
But you know what? Like, but in that situation though, like they didn't know. But I thought it was interesting that they like literally said like sometimes the Jedi will know, and their masters will know and take the Padawans like off in a different world for missions up to like 3 years sometimes,
yeah,
and then come back, and then their relationship is like so much different because they're so much older that they don't
yeah,
think like that anymore. So it's like,
yeah, but I don't know. Like, that's a pretty bad way of addressing it.
well, no,
I don't know how. It's over my head. I don't know how to.
All I'm saying,
I would have done the same thing.
all I'm saying is the Jedi had it right, in my opinion, because like part of, well, we're jumping ahead of ourselves a little bit, but part of Elzar's struggle is with these things that have been deemed bad by the Jedi Order that he's having trouble reconciling with, which in and of themselves, most of them aren't inherently bad.
yeah.
Like, he has feelings for a really close friend that they've been together since they were young. I mean, like, that's how I've formed feelings for Micaiah.
Yeah, you guys were
Like,
best friends
we were
since you were
friends for
little
so
kids.
long, you know,
Yeah.
like, so like I get that. And then, but of course he's like, no, it's wrong. They don't want me to have attachments and I've got to do all the right things. And all of a sudden, like, then he internalizes it and then he gets angry and all of a sudden he's like dealing with the dark side. And like, one good sturdy conversation about this might have solved the issue. Anyways,
Yeah, but I think it's just
but there's the when Stellan was after he had his encounter with the creature and he
yeah.
started to come to, and there's a long conversation between him and Elzer
Yeah, yeah.
about his struggles with who he is. Like, it's like, how can you? I would have to go look it up, but like, he was like how the order just defined him and how there's meaning in the
Yeah.
order, and he's
Yeah.
like something about like, how can you define who you are if you don't even know who you are? Something along those lines, like, because he
but
made
it
himself
also
one with the order. Like, he thought the Jedi
yeah.
and in the Jedi, the Force and the Jedi Order were one and the same for him. But like Orla,
Orla, yeah.
Orla,
I
she's
loved
like,
her character.
she made the comment like, Stellan, you're confusing the Force with the Order. Like, they're not the
Yeah.
same thing.
Which is exactly what Qui-Gon warned against before ish hit the fan.
Yeah. I
So
think that
anyways,
was also interesting too about like their relationship with each other
yeah, it
and how
led me
he
to
kind
believe that
of
there was a little Obi-Wan
a
and
little triangle going on.
what?
What?
No.
No,
I just thought
I
him
don't know.
and Stellan and Orla had some past, like some history of
Oh
flirting or something.
no, that's what I mean. Like, yeah, it seemed. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, and Jeremiah, I will tell you that when you were talking about like what happened to this character, what happened to this character, uh a lot of the supplementary books is where some of these characters take center stage. So, like, for example, there was another book that focused heavily on the Dringir that Alfie and Leox and Geode and Orla, like, they were all main characters in that book
Oh, really?
earlier in this phase. Yeah. So, like, you don't have to know. Like, obviously, you just, Claudia Gray did a great job of being like, you don't really know who Orla is, but you have a really good idea of what she does and why she's working with Elzar, you know?
Yeah.
It's like you get enough to be able to understand the story, but like I know that the comic books and the other novels and stuff provide a lot of extra context, and I think we'll continue to tell the
Okay.
stories of these characters. Again, you don't have to have the context, but I think to fully experience the story, they're hoping that people will like consume all the different media types.
Yeah.
Because, like, for example, uh, what is it? They're called the I remember seeing something on StarWars.com. Like, there's this new thing they're talking about called the Solus or something like that, and I didn't read anything about it because I didn't want to spoil the end of this book, depending on if it was related. But then they were talking about, they showed like an excerpt from an upcoming comic that was, I'm guessing, was very heavily related to the effects that we see in the book from whatever these creatures are. So like, I feel like I'm gonna need to at least probably dive into the comics or something to.
See, I had a friend who read the comics for a lot, and they said that it got so boring that they just stopped.
Oh no.
But I don't know if that's real. Like, they're also like a Star Wars fan, but like not like
Oh
die hard. But I mean, they watch all this stuff, so I don't know. Maybe they don't appreciate it the same way because we read the books. So maybe you'll probably appreciate it better, Andrew. But
yeah.
I don't know.
But I just want to read my the funniest moment or funniest lines in the book because I'm going to remember these lines for the rest of my life. But it was early on in the book when I was talking about, I don't know, Regal Call, however how you say his name.
Oh yeah.
So it talks about how he took the task of taking on
Oh,
teaching younglings.
I think I know what you're gonna say.
So
Yeah,
he
yeah,
says,
yeah.
well, he still thought nothing was more exhausting than teaching younglings. The Nile were bad, sure, but trying to manage a room full of toddlers
Yeah,
who
yeah,
missed their
yeah.
naps and just figured out that they can basically do magic. It was not a task for the weak. Like
Yeah,
I thought it was the funniest thing. Like I always pictured every youngling like we see in episode 2, like when Obi-Wan comes in when Yoda's teaching, like they're all
Oh
like
nah.
all together, like really like mature and like I never thought of a 2-year-old kid who realized he can basically do magic going crazy. Like, I just never thought of it that way. I was like,
I
this is kind of funny.
That actually is a good segue. One of my favorite things about the High Republic books in general is how they've humanized the Jedi experience
Yeah.
just from start to finish. So like you get a glimpse in that respect of like, oh no, Jedi toddlers are still toddlers and toddlers suck sometimes, but then
Sometimes.
you have these, have this glimpse into the adolescent experience where they're uh they're having relationships of various kinds, and they're hormonal teenagers that
Yeah.
are growing up, and it's like, oh, they're sentient, normal sentient beings. They're not these people that grow up as like monks in a monastery the way we initially thought. And then
Mm.
my favorite thing about Avar, Stellan, and Elzar is the struggles that we've seen within them. So like Elzar has his own thing, which is obviously his kind of flirting with the dark side of the Force and his struggles with that. Stellan, you really get a ton of context into his inner workings during this episode, during this book, and you see him struggle in a very different way. And I think we're going to get more of Avar as we continue on. But like, that was one of the things that like I don't think we really got like during the Clone Wars. Like, of course, Anakin, you're going to see it in Anakin because he
Yeah.
has to. Like, we already know he turns into Darth Vader, so there has to be some sort of a struggle. And
Spoiler
obviously,
alert.
yeah, sorry.
Damn,
And
spoiling everything all the time now.
obviously, like the people that are around him, Ahsoka, Obi-Wan, Padme, well, more so Ahsoka and Obi-Wan because they're Jedi, you expect there to be tension. You
Yeah.
expect there to be the moments where Obi-Wan's like, "You're my brother," and they're having all these tension. But like we've never seen Jedi like, "Oh, I'm in love with another Jedi and I don't know what to do with it," or like, "I was so outrageously angry that I just split a woman in half." Or like we haven't seen them fail that way in a way that's not as obvious as Anakin. So I liked the complexity that it added to these people who seemingly are, they're kind of painted to be more perfect in
Yeah.
other areas of canon,
Mm.
where they're the heroes all the time. They don't really do bad things.
Well, I think even the way that the people around them portrayed the Jedi, like you got that character who was like really like he was like not a he was a bad guy. The guy,
Coley
yeah,
Lynn? Coley
what's
Lynn?
what
Oh
was the
gosh,
ship
I
called? A B
I
C
was
or
so happy when
something.
that guy got killed.
Oh, for real, everyone
Ace
was.
of Staves or
Or
something.
yeah, Ace of Spades or something.
Ace of Spades.
No, Ace of Spades is a song. Ace of Staves.
Oh,
Is
okay.
a ship name.
Anyways, I didn't read it. I just heard it sounded like Ace of Spades, so I was like, oh, okay, cool, I guess. But either way, like
I did not
his
like him because
character,
I know people like him, and that's what I was like. Oh, I
yeah.
hate dealing with people like that.
But like his character was also like alignment. Like there's still people that don't trust the Jedi at all. That isn't just part of um the the bad guys, like, essentially.
Nihil.
Yeah.
The Nihil, like there is other people that have this opinion as well, but then also his opinion was also he was a close person and he wants to scam everyone essentially and get his way. And so I was happy that that boy died. It kind of took too
Dude,
long in my
that
opinion,
moment,
but
that moment was hilarious to
oh
me.
yeah.
He shoots a rock, basically.
And the rock deflects his blaster bolt straight to his chest.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, I really liked, and I've really liked this whole time the development that we're getting for these Jedi, and you're like, oh, these are real people that have extraordinary abilities. But like even there were even many moments in this book where they would talk about how like especially Elzar like didn't draw on the Force, and he's like sometimes the Force can be perceived as this all powerful thing that solves all your problems, but sometimes it doesn't. And sometimes you have to like roll up your sleeves and like do it yourself, which I
Well,
thought was very
wasn't
interesting.
Bell like completely like turned off from the Force most of this time too?
No,
No,
that was just
No.
Elzer.
Oh, is this
that was the last book because he lost
Mm,
Loden.
yes.
So
That's right.
But so there's a line where I think Elzer was talking. I can't remember if it was Orla or if it was Indira. But when they realize that he's like operating without using the Force, they're like, "Well, then maybe you're the key to saving us." But like,
yeah,
so I thought he was going to save the day in the book somehow, and he almost did, but no. So it's like I don't know. I just felt like with like the Geode thing, with like that thing with the conversation with Elzer there, like there was just things where I'm like I was misled to believe things in this book, and I was kind of like, okay, whatever. But I don't know.
you can't
okay.
predict everything, Jeremiah. Sometimes you just gotta roll with it, and whatever happens, happens.
Yep.
Okay.
But real quick, I know we've talked about this a lot, but I think the whole thing about the Jedi having attachments, and this is something that bothered a lot of people, and I want to know Andrew's opinion on this, but the way Luke had the attachment, like he had this attachment with Vader, and then as soon as Grogu as his first Padawan was having attachments, he like gave him a choice and like pretty much didn't want to train him. I think a lot of people are like really confused about that whole thing. And it doesn't really make any sense.
Well, oh, sorry. You wanted to add?
Well, I will say that Luke Skywalker in the expanded universe, everyone roll your eyes
We know
collectively.
he was
Uh,
married.
definitely continued in that tradition where he was like doing things in a very traditionally unorthodox way. But I think in canon, like when you're the only person who has a skill and you have no idea what you're doing and teaching others, what are you going to fall back on? Are you going to pave your own trail, or if you have a guide, are you just going to default to that? Because like I do the same thing I used to do the same things sometimes with when I used to teach guitar. If it was an area of music that I wasn't particularly experienced in, or a genre that I wasn't experienced in, I relied more heavily on books rather than my own experiences or instructional material. So I'm wondering if it's because
Yeah,
Luke was
sure.
like, I have no idea what I'm doing, so I
Well,
got these sacred texts and
yeah.
they say no attachment. So Grogu, you
Well, I
gotta.
was gonna say, I feel like also Ahsoka had a lot to do with like trying to make sure like Mando didn't get involved as well. So maybe
Yeah.
she had an influence on Luke in that sense of like
Well,
this
because
is what
remember,
happens if you have attachments. Like
yeah,
that
I mean,
happens.
remember, she's still probably dealing with the aftermath of her attachment, like
To
ending terribly,
yeah,
because of her relationship with Anakin, and plus she grew up as a Jedi too, so she's still got all that ingrained in her. Um,
I know this has
so
nothing to do with the book, but when she was talking about you're so much like your father. Ooh,
ah,
that probably
stop.
rocked you, huh?
Yeah.
That was a good. That was like the best. But
Speaking of rocks, let's do a quick rundown of the summary of the book
sure.
since we've already been all over the place with this. So it's very complicated and yet very simple at the same time. So there's a lot of details, and yet the story itself is fairly straightforward. So we'll just do a quick kind of like 30,000 foot view overview, so everyone has the context. But essentially, the setting is all Starlight Beacon. Aside from like one or two scenes on the Gaze Electric, and one or two scenes like on Aram. How do they pronounce it in the book, Drew? Aram.
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 Yeah.
Okay. So basically, everything takes place in Starlight Beacon. It's like what, 4 months? It was like a handful of months after the second book.
Yeah, it was pretty quick.
It was like enough where like the characters had kind of moved on, but close enough where things are
Where
still
like
fresh.
yeah, like after that whole event, like people are still in shock from it. You know, like
Yeah,
they're still probably still cleaning up that planet where that thing happened. You know, like
yeah,
yeah,
Fallow,
Valor.
yeah. So what happens is Martian Rowe pretty early on he's labeled as like the bad guy behind the scenes, orchestrating all of this. He orders a bunch of attacks on seemingly random worlds, and their job, the Nihil's job, is literally just to wreak a just unprejudiced like destruction on anyone and everyone they can find. Um, and so they do that, and obviously the Starlight Beacon station that has been moved to assist with helping this Aram planet like regain their water supply. Essentially, it's like a refugee relief type mission. Um, the Starlight Beacon begins taking in refugees from these planets that have been attacked. In the midst of everything that is happening, these three Nihil saboteurs get on board. We've already hinted at this, but they bring on, I think it was two of these like force beasts. We still don't know what they are, which is kind of annoying because that, like, to me, that's one of the most interesting things about this book, and like I
They're
want to know.
zombies that suck your. They're vampires that suck your whole
Yeah,
body
but they
to
also, they're
ash.
like animals. They're not like humanoid.
But and they're also. But see, what's interesting? They also, if at least the way I interpreted it through listening, it seemed like they didn't even like touch these people.
No, they didn't.
Like,
It was like a proximity thing.
yeah, like they're just close enough where if they got too close, the Jedi would get so hungry that they would like melt into ash.
No, they don't
Essentially.
get hungry. It's fear.
But didn't they kept saying about like they're dreaming that
So
they're hungry all the time and stuff
no, no,
like
no,
that?
no. They can sense that the creatures are hungry. The
Oh, that's what
creature,
it was.
the creatures feed on the force
The
users.
fear. Yeah, the
So
force essentially from
yeah.
them.
So they get on the Starlight Beacon. These Nihil, over the course of many days, begin sabotaging Starlight Beacon, posing as like maintenance workers and stuff, hitting systems that wouldn't raise alarm, or if they do, they reprogram certain status symbols and stuff like that to basically look like everything is fine. And while this sabotage is happening, which the Jedi would have normally been able to sense, they're dealing with the problem of these mysterious creatures being on board. Jedi start to die. So the first one is
So Regal's guy,
Regal,
right?
yeah, who reminded me of like a Harry Potter professor, and he just seems like he would have been one of the ones at Hogwarts in one of the movies. I really liked his character. And in the process of him being killed, Indira, Bell's master, is like she's close, but she's not too close. So she doesn't die, but she's out of commission for the rest of the novel. Like it takes her completely out. She's like barely alive. She slowly starts to recover, that sort of a deal. So the Jedi are very preoccupied with this sort of a thing. And obviously, like we mentioned, it's a proximity effect. And so it ranges from everyone on the station at their farthest points away not being able to draw on the Force and sense the Force correctly. They mentioned that it was very muffled or muddled, and they weren't able to. It felt distant. They weren't able to call upon it as they normally would be to like do certain things. It felt weak and feeble. To being directly close, in the same area as these things. It talks about how they completely hallucinate. Like it talks about how like the walls and the floor begin to melt and their sense of direction is completely thrown off, and like they see weird colors. And then the main characteristic is like animalistic, like primal, intense fear. Like that's the last thing they experience, and then they end up as like this grayed out hollow husk of their former self. Like Loden ended up in at the end of the second book, or the first second book. And so the Jedi are dealing with this. The saboteurs are sabotaging everything. There's a lot of like intricate detail stuff and relationship building and character building that happens in the midst of all this. Elzar is seen off with Orla on a retreat following the whole thing that happened with Valo to get himself recentered again, and they talk about his story. And him and Orla leave, and he has a sense of normalcy, but he's still kind of guarded. He's not drawing on the Force the way he should, which is why we mentioned the other Jedi, basically saying like, "Oh, you might be the person who can actually save us." Which it took them way too long to be like, "Hey, normal people, come help us." They should have been like, "Hey, all of you people that we know you have weapons on your ships, grab a bunch of blasters and go down there and like smoke this thing out." Essentially, like, anyways, so yeah, so this is happening, and then it all kind of leads up to the fact that they sabotage all of the systems that they would need to either call for help or regain normalcy in a damaged space station, and then they plant a bomb right beside the main reactor, and then it explodes and essentially bisects Starlight Beacon into the top half and the bottom half. And then a majority of the story is spent in the midst of that disaster. And a lot of it is like a challenge presents itself, some sort of a mini disaster happens and they have to solve it. And they think they're getting closer to being able to like, save themselves or save other people, but then something gets in their way, and it's just like one thing after the other, and it's like hardship after hardship. The station breaks into two pieces. They were already on their way into crashing into the surface of the planet they're orbiting. Now two sections of the station are on their way to crashing into the planet. And most of the main characters are on the bottom half, which stays in orbit the longest. The top half, they pretty much write that off. It was like, yeah, RIP top
blows
half.
up, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, it does, but it was like It was like, yeah, we were in the hub, and like then they moved the office down to the lower half into the marshal's
Yeah.
office. They like moved the command center, and all of a sudden, like nothing really happened in the top half, and then all of a sudden it disintegrates.
See, what
But
I
there was wasn't there like hundreds of Jedis that died on there?
Well,
no,
yeah.
The
not
top half. Yeah.
hundreds.
No, there were hundreds of people. There were Jedi that died, but like
There's only
Avar,
like a few Jedi that were on top,
No,
right?
yeah, but like
I don't
Avar,
know. It's they act like in the book. It said like it seemed like there was a lot that did pass away on the top of that.
yeah, it was more than a handful, but I know, yeah, Jericho says
Well, I
Maru
thought
dies. He was a
I
main
thought
character.
that didn't they say that they were able to attach ships to the top part when
To
it broke off,
the Ataraxia,
and
Avar's flagship,
they were able to evacuate most of the people off the top, weren't
but
they?
they weren't able to get them all.
But most of them. So,
Well, that's still death.
well, I know I'm saying, but like it wasn't like hundreds of people. Like
It made it seem like it was.
I didn't get that at all.
So, but the top half, they
No.
like it just disintegrates.
But this is what I was confused about, which I didn't get until like later on. But I thought the medical bay was on the top half this whole time.
Oh, it was a tower
Right. I got that now after like I thought
connected to the
everyone
bottom
died.
half.
But like
Yeah.
Like, I
Yeah, it
didn't-
was kind of confusing. You're right.
because Bell, he finds the Bell and Biraga were like climbing down the shaft. I thought that was like the only clear thing from top to bottom was what they were able to squeeze through.
Mm-hmm.
And like he was like worried about trying to get back up there to Indira and
His doggo.
Ember.
Ember, yep.
Yeah. And so I was like, I was confused this whole time. I'm like, the top half disappears, like goes off and like crashes, and he's still talking about trying to get to Indira. I'm like, did you not know the top broke off? Like
Well,
I don't
and then they conveniently are like there was a moment where Bell looked and he was like, "Oh, the medical tower is still connected to the bottom half," and you're like, "That's really convenient for you, Bell. Good job."
Hey, man, that dog means a lot to him. Okay.
Well, no, dude. Let me
I
tell you
want
something.
that dog.
Let me tell you something.
For
If they
real.
kill off Ember, there are
Game
two
over.
things. There are two things that are going to make there's going to be hell to
All
pay
right,
for
here we
Disney:
go.
ruining
Here we go.
Kenobi, killing Ember.
No, there's one more. See, you already forgot about the other one. You
What?
don't remember number 3 is
What
for
was?
you?
What? Remind me.
It's your favorite girl from the Bad Batch. They kill her off.
Oh yeah, yeah. Nah, there are 3.
Let's see.
You hurt Omega, or you kill Omega, you kill Ember, or you ruin Kenobi for me. You're done.
What if Ember sacrifices her life to save Bell in a later book, and
Look,
that's how it goes out?
If
we
that
know
I
that's
will
gonna
accept.
happen. Let's.
I
be
will
real,
accept
that's
that
happening.
with a heavy heart. I will honor that sacrifice. But if it's just like, and he wasn't able to save her, and she went down with the shit, no.
What if Bell and Ember track down Martian Rowe,
Yeah,
and Rowe shoots Ember, and then
bro.
Bell turns to the dark side and kills Martian Rowe, and it's like in his fury.
I don't think Bell's gonna be the character to do that.
I was gonna say there's other
But-
characters that are already.
but still,
there.
I would say, Bell, job well done. Go home and have a cookie and some Wesley Andrews coffee. Have yourself a good day.
Oh, speaking of Wesley Andrews Coffee, they are our sponsor, our one and only sponsor right now. And
Hey,
even though not everyone drinks coffee, we offer it to everyone. And you can
There's
get a
tea
great
on the
deal.
website too.
There's
so.
tea also, yep. So, in good old fashioned, Andrew, your favorite part of the, or I should say second favorite. Your favorite part's later on, but
yeah, it is.
let's listen to an ad from our sponsor, Wesley Andrews Coffee and Tea.
Hey everyone, Andrew here. I'm pleased to tell you that the sponsor of today's episode is Wesley Andrews Coffee and Tea. If you don't know anything about Wesley Andrews, you definitely should. They're an award-winning coffee roaster and shop in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and they make fantastic coffee. The awesome thing is that whether you live in the Twin Cities or not, you can get their coffee beans delivered straight to your door by ordering them online. They even have a subscription service that ensures you never run out of amazing coffee. If you've been looking for some new coffee to try or a way to elevate your normal coffee routine, now's your chance. Head over to wesleyandrews.cc, use the code Empire Radio, that's with a capital E and a capital R with no space at checkout, to get 15% off your first purchase of any bags of coffee or a coffee subscription. I can't think of a better deal. Get 15% off some great coffee, support a small business, and support your favorite Star Wars podcast. In the words of Emperor Palpatine, do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Oh, wow. Product placement over here.
What is that?
Not a sponsor.
It's that
But
bougie,
they want to.
It's bougie, trendy
water.
water.
It's just water.
It's caffeinated water.
That's.
It's not. It's just water.
It's not caffeinated?
No. It's just
Oh.
water.
Is it
This one's just
carbonated?
water. Nope. Just
Why do they
straight
have
up
it in a
water.
can?
Because it's more
It makes it look like
recyclable
you're
than bottles, and it
drinking an
looks
adult
like
beverage.
you're. Yep. Exactly.
But you're trying to
Yeah.
be healthy. Like,
Yeah, people have all over Instagram.
Okay,
Guys were
literally
drinking
the
that stuff,
back-
and I'm like,
The bottom of it says "Murder Your Thirst."
yeah, like I've seen people like all these trendy musicians
okay,
drinking that, and like
know-
Topo Chico.
Topo Chico slaps. It's
But that's the
amazing.
thing. It's like now we're doing trendy water.
Okay. Yeah.
Coffee's one thing.
No.
You know?
Okay, but the thing is with this, like, you know how we had that water conversation, like, what's the best water? This is by far the best water I've ever had in my life. Go to Whole Foods, Andrew. Go buy you some.
I don't
Whole
have enough money.
Foods?
I don't have
Holy
enough money to
smokes.
shop at Whole
It's-
Foods.
It's $1. It's like $1.10. It's cheaper than most water now. Like from like anywhere
It's not cheaper
else.
than my filtered fridge water.
Okay.
oh, burr, burr, burr.
And then Jeremiah's
Anyways.
over there. I don't even filter my water. Single
he
only.
just straight
Tap
from the
water,
tap.
like
Yep.
dirty St. Paul tap water.
What's wrong with water? Tap St. Paul water.
No, I wouldn't trust it.
I wouldn't either.
I had some
I
really
have
bad
been drinking
Minneapolis
it
water.
for 32 years.
Maybe that's a side effect.
Yup, there it is.
Anyways,
But yes,
Well, get Wesley Andrews. Don't.
yeah,
Yep.
you should.
This is
Oh,
not a sponsorship,
Drew.
but if you guys want to
Drew.
sponsor us, hit us up, please.
Yo, I got some filters and I got a new kettle.
So you're gonna order Wesley tomorrow? Or you want me to
Maybe,
send you some.
he wants free
maybe.
coffee.
Oh.
No, all I'm saying, I've got a little bit of Stumptown left, and then they've got. Okay, oh, I'm sorry. I did buy.
Oh, you don't know I got a different job.
No, I do. You told me
Oh, okay.
because you're just roasting now, right? For another.
Company.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah. You told me.
Oh, no, no.
But I got Stumptown, and I've got some. There's a black-owned brand called Black and Bold.
Yeah.
Their coffee's been good. I got some of that, but I've also been drinking Nespresso lately because they brought back my favorite one, the Jamaica Blue Mountain, and it is
Are there mountains in Jamaica?
blue ones.
Really?
Definitely not. It's probably a blend.
But
Oh,
it's my favorite one I've ever had. So they brought it back, and
actually, I don't
bought.
think you could even grow coffee in Jamaica. There's not enough elevation.
Yeah, coffee isn't even
could-
real.
Well, okay, well, it's definitely real.
They
Is there a
grow other
sponsor?
things in Jamaica.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe that's why it's his favorite. Jeremiah. Maybe.
Anyways,
Anywho,
the station breaks apart. Top half burns up. It's really
Yep.
sad. And then the rest of the book is a grueling fight for life on the bottom half.
Yeah.
And then a lot of people die. A lot of people die.
And you think it's about to be over, and then it's like another 3, 4, 5 more.
it's like
chapters.
they got this point where they said, "Okay, we have 3 hours,"
This is the longest 3 hours
Yeah,
I've ever
it's-
experienced
I'm
in my
like-
entire life.
and it was like 10 chapters went by, and they're like, "Yeah, we got 2 more hours left." I'm like, "What?"
And then like another 10 chapters, like we've got 45 minutes left. You're like, wait, what? And then another 10 chapters, and they're like, we have 15 minutes left. I was like, how does time work? Anyways,
it's
so
like in Interstellar.
oh, that's still one of
Never
my
seen
favorite
it.
movies of all time.
Still never seen it.
Well,
We've gone
you
over
should.
this.
Well, how about this? So, fun fact, guys.
Oh.
Fun fact, guys. What?
Coming up to Minnesota for a visit.
Actually, might be.
Oh, wait for it.
So, you remember how last year my buddy had me up for Easter?
Oh,
to
Easter,
play,
yeah.
to play for his church. So he texted me a few weeks ago, and he was like, "Hey, so you remember that thing? You remember that Easter thing?" I was like, "Yes, I remember Easter. It's a
It's a pretty
fairly
big
large
thing.
deal."
Yeah.
And he was like, "No, but do you remember the thing where you came and played for my church?" And I was like, "Yeah, I had a blast. I remember that." He's like, "So would you like want to do it again?" I was like, "I mean, if I can, I don't exactly know what work's going to look like, but if I can make it work, I'm going to do it." So, I don't have nearly as many. A lot of the people that I would have seen have moved. So,
From Minnesota?
yeah.
Why?
got
It's not
Us
that
two
cold.
and Tanner. Who else is there? Do you need to see?
Oh, a Tanner. Oh man.
You forgot about Tanner?
Dude,
No,
but
I
he has a
didn't- no.
girlfriend now,
Yeah,
so
yeah, he has a girlfriend.
Wait. Are you serious?
Facebook official.
Oh yeah, Facebook official today.
I don't know if
did-
we're supposed to say that on air, but
Oh, that's
it's
fair.
Facebook official. So
I think it happened like,
What?
was it today or yesterday or
it
something?
was yesterday, I think.
Oh, that's probably why I don't know about it. Wow.
Yeah,
Hold on.
so
'cause
he's
he
probably
messaged-
too
listen,
busy now.
He messaged me. No, he messaged me on Instagram like 15 minutes before we started recording, where this guy had been working on a replica whistling bird gauntlet,
Yeah,
and it was like super cool. He didn't say anything about his relationship.
it was.
Well,
it's funny
have
because
you been
like
watching his stories? It's like every other
oh.
photo is
it was
this
like
person.
it was like a couple weeks ago or last week. He's like
It was
said
yesterday.
He went on a date and he was talking about like
On
listening to
Valentine's
like
Day.
it was Valentine's Day, but he was like talking about listening to certain music to like
Uh-huh.
get hyped for the date. And I was like, was it? You should have played Across the Stars. But so yeah,
So he's probably too busy for us.
yeah,
so.
he has a
Also,
girlfriend. So
I think it's really funny that we've talked about this one of our fans for that much. Okay, yeah, that's pretty.
Anyway,
sorry, Tanner.
congratulations, Tanner.
We
Happy
put
for
you on
you.
hardcore blast on this podcast.
Oh, so she's friends with Louie's
don't-
wife.
whoa, we
Anyways,
don't know
anyways.
we don't
Tanner,
know this.
congratulations, my dude. I'm pumped for you. Tan the girlfriend, man. Thanks, Will. Anyways, so listen.
Let's go.
Anyways,
that was pretty good, Will.
that was good. Anyways, so there's a possibility that I might be up there for Easter, and if I do, the extra time that I have, I was planning on like not trying to see as many people anyways, just to keep things simple, and maybe doing more if Jeremiah would be willing to make that pizza again, because that pizza was pizza. It's still some of the best pizza I've ever had. All y'all think Jeremiah's whole like cooking thing, like I know it's hard to like gauge how good he is on the internet, but if that pizza is any indication of the rest of his dishes,
And muffins. We know those big old muffins.
the muffins are good too. Oh man, those muffins are really good.
Yeah,
So
I'll break
anyways.
my diet for that pizza just for Andrew.
2 years in a row, baby.
Dude, yeah.
Yeah. So
Sure.
anyway, so it's not a promise. Nothing's solidified yet, but it's on the table, and we might be able to do some Empire Radio content while we're there.
So does that mean you're saying we need to watch Interstellar? Is that because that was like what inspired this?
Bringing that full circle, maybe, because Drew is so good.
Well, I'm not saying it's not. I just, you know what that means? You can meet Miles.
The little chunk.
Oh my!
Oh, every time you post a picture of him, my heart melts.
My kid is huge. If you guys
but
don't
he's
know.
so cute.
He's
You posted a
massive.
picture of him the other day and I so it was on your story. One of him on the couch and one of his like
his
fresh
Vans?
his fresh outfit. Yeah.
Mhm.
So I held my thumb down so your handle it faded away for a second, and I looked at McKay. I was like, McKay, looking at this child, whose child is it? Because like I have never seen, at least recently, a kid that looks so equally like the two of you. Like I look
Really?
at him and I'm like, I know exactly who his parents are. And so I did that. I was like, Micaiah, whose kid is this? And she was like, almost immediately, Drew and Stephanie. I was like, yep. So he's
I think
adorable,
he looks
man.
like Stephanie a lot, but
I saw that same picture, and I'll say that's the first time I felt like that's definitely a shoemaker.
oh really? See, that's so weird. Because like that same day, we have a picture of Stephanie's. I'll post it on my Instagram, but we have a picture of Stephanie's baby photo, the
Uh-huh.
same age,
Yeah.
and they look almost the same. It's so weird. But
It's
yeah,
so funny
no,
because
my
like
kid is huge now.
the only material Drew ever posts on his personal account now is like stuff he
Food.
tags Traeger in
Yep.
and Miles.
I'm trying to get. I'm trying to get a Traeger sponsor. So if you're listening, Traeger.
Anyways,
Well, why
brother
don't
up,
you?
but-
We should start. Are you doing that through your personal IG or for Empire Radio IG?
My
Traeger
personal
stuff.
because I feel
Well,
like
try and
I don't know if Star Wars people want to see me cook salmon and
well, I'm just
I
saying,
mean,
like
I will say it looks really good.
you could post
So
something tagging them, like, "Hey, the Empire really loves cooking
Oh.
some."
all right. Well, you gave me permission, so
Yeah, because I wanted to ask you if we could reach out to the Donkey Chips and get sponsored by them. But
what's the donkey chips?
what?
Donkey Chips,
What's
they're
that?
the best. They're the best chips I've ever had in my entire life.
Well, I
They're
mean, I'm
tortilla
down for any
chips.
sponsorship. So
They're
yeah.
tortilla chips, and they're the best tortilla chips I've ever had in my entire life. And you know me and my money. I buy
Yes,
like
oh, we
generic
do. We
brand
do.
foods. I get the cheap stuff because I don't care. And I saw these ones, and they were on sale for like the same price as the cheap stuff. I'm like, okay, I'll get these.
Which flavor?
I get the
So,
salted, but here's the thing:
so the orange packet?
it's red.
Okay, well, color is misleading on the internet because that definitely looks orange, but it's fine.
But they're very lightly salted,
Mm.
and they're a very thick, dense chip. So like when you dip it, you're not gonna break it. Like it's
Yeah, it's stone ground, 100% stone ground, whole corn, whole grain white corn.
And I'm telling you, it's the best chips.
Wow.
If you see them,
Will in the chat, how did we get to donkey chips? That's fair.
I was like, because I was thinking like the other day, I was like, I wonder if I can like tag Donkey Chips on Instagram. Be like, hey,
They have an Instagram?
they have hey Donkey Chips, you have the best chips in the galaxy
Well,
or something like that.
do they have an Instagram?
Yeah.
Of course they do. They're donkey chips. Why wouldn't
I realize how silly that question is now
Yeah.
that you said it that way, Drew. Thank you.
But yes.
Also, what you could do is you could clip this whole conversation and put it on Instagram and then just tag them in it.
And we could tag Traeger and Donkey Chips.
Donkey
Yeah.
chips.
Okay, so here's the thing.
Death
Now I
water.
need to try Donkey Chips if I end up coming up there.
All right, I'll have a bag for you.
Okay. So, anyways, all that to
You
say,
could make a dish with donkey chips, Jeremiah.
or we could just have pizza and Donkey Chips. You can put Donkey Chips on your pizza.
True. Or you can make pizza, come to my house. I can grill too,
Oh, stop.
and then we can hang out with Miles and watch whatever we want to watch.
Yeah, I will say that again, none of this is none of this is a done deal yet, but we should definitely do something special, make some content or something if I do come up there.
I like content.
Vlog it up again.
Yeah,
Vlog it up.
which I'm
like
still
Twitch
planning
vlog.
on
We could try
vlogging
and
Disney.
we could try and like
Yeah.
okay, we don't know if we're gonna get a third year of sponsorship with Cufflinks, but we could try
Oh.
and make an epic video just in hopes that we get
just
the
have it sitting
sponsorship.
on the back burner until we.
We just gotta just like copy and paste like something in there, just like. But
We need more
Star
Android
Wars.
content. Yes.
calling the fallen star.
Yeah. So and then it falls.
Yep,
The end.
that's
Uh,
kind of
so
basically
here-
what happened.
so here's the thing. Like I said, this is a really difficult book to be able to cover because it's like the stories and the details more so than other stories I've read. So like there a lot of other stories, there's clear plot points where like Thrawn goes here, and then he goes here, and they have a conversation, and the Grisks are doing something, and blah blah blah. But like this is like really the whole point of the book is like this station is falling apart,
Right.
and the story points are from like them talking in the docking bay, like the different ship owners, like Alfie and Leox and Geode and all this. Like there's like kind of these subplots going on there, and then there's like the Jedi subplot where they're trying to figure out like what's going on with the Force, but also like we're definitely not at 100%, and we're trying to hold the space station together and do refugee and relief work,
And we can't
and
forget
then
we haven't even talked about Nan and what's her face?
yeah
Yancy?
Chansey.
Chansey, yeah. So like we haven't
Or
even talked
depending
about
on
them. And
depending on the way they said it in the audiobook, Chauncey.
It was actually
No.
I think it was just Chansey. I was like,
I would have
I'm like, oh.
I would have read that as Chauncey every single time because of Chauncey.
Oh, yeah.
You know Chauncey.
I mean, I got a house because
I know him before you guys knew him. He accidentally slapped me in the face once, and I chased him down the hall and tackled him.
That sounds like a Jeremiah move.
He meant to like slap me, like fake slap me, like miss me. But he actually full blown hit me, and he got scared, and he started running. I chased him. I tackled him down the hallway, and that was a fun story. That's it.
Okay.
That's it.
Wait.
That's it. That's all the story. It was over.
Yeah. So anyways, I didn't really. I don't know. I know that Nan and Chansey were characters in another book, but every time it went back to them, I was like, oh, we're on them again.
Really?
I didn't get
well
that
because
at
it was
all.
like it would always be like a Jedi. They just found another freaking Jedi husk, and something weird's going on in the Force, and then it breaks, and it's like
these
and then we're walking through the
these side
corridors.
characters.
Yeah, it's like this girl with anger issues. And
now, would you have cared more about the story in hindsight if they did actually save the day?
No.
That means
not
their
really.
storyline actually mattered then?
Not really.
The thing is, I didn't like that because I think if they would have saved the day, I still wouldn't care about.
I think Elzar should have saved the day.
True.
Right, but I think it would have been great.
And still lived.
But it would have been great.
I think it still should have died by saving the day.
I mean, like, it's just annoying because, like, this is gonna sound really petty, but like, I would have preferred them to have saved the day and died rather than Stellan. Because man. First of all, Stellan has the coolest lightsaber I've ever seen in canon. In canon. Like, it's such a freaking cool lightsaber. Disney, Hasbro, if you're listening to this,
they're listening.
But I really like
series
how it looks
saber
on the cover. Like,
yeah, dude, it's so freaking cool.
Like the crossguard is the actual like saber blades.
Yeah,
like with
Kylo,
like Kylo Ren, like it's there, but it's covered. It's just coming out the ends. But like here, you actually see it going across.
Yeah,
it looks cool. But
I'm telling you, Hasbro, y'all make a Black Series saber. I will pre-order it if my wife lets me. I will want to pre-order it. Here's the thing: if they had a good one of his a good replica of his lightsaber at Galaxy's Edge, I would seriously consider getting that over building one.
Wasn't that going to be one of them, and they decided to not? Like, we voted, and that wasn't one of them.
I don't know.
Oh. No.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
shoot, I have to give you money soon. I forgot about that.
Jerica says their story arc is a little deeper in the young adult novels, and I know, like, I think if you read those novels, you would be more attached, but I'm not.
Jerica, have you read the other Cardia Gray novel?
That's what she's talking about.
Oh, well, she only did one other novel besides this one, right?
And it's the one with him in it.
Oh.
Yeah. It's called, it's in the back of the book. Hold on. It is called, because it's Reith Silas is the main Jedi character in this. Gosh, where is it?
Into the Dark.
There you go.
Yeah, Into the Dark. I literally just found it right after you said that, but yeah. Because that was the book where Geode pops up and everybody was like, "What is Disney? Disney gives us a rock? Like that's what they're doing with the story now." But like he ends up being a really fun character.
He's a ladies' man.
Oh yeah, he's a stud.
Yep.
There's might have been a joke in
He's a
there.
rock.
Yeah.
I
Anyways,
see what you did
so
there.
yeah, but like Chansey and Nan, like I don't know, like I think it was horrific when Elzar just slices her in half, especially the way,
Spoilers.
We've already
dude. What this is literally a breakdown of the book.
Joking.
So it's like the lightning bolt, the pride, their arrogance, their greed. He could bear it no more. He would bear it no more. No more. Elzar leapt into the room, igniting his lightsaber mid-flip until he landed directly in front of the woman who stood deep in the workings of the positional thrusters. Her large eyes widened, and already she was going for a weapon, ready and willing to kill him if that was the only way she got to kill others. Before she could reach it, Elzar swung his lightsaber, the blade splitting her in two, and instantly she fell dead. Like, it's such a gruesome...
See, like the first time I read that, I thought he sliced her weapon in half, like classic Jedi. And I'm like, then she fell dead. I'm like, what? And I
Nah, he split her in two.
I don't know.
I was kind of disappointed that you didn't kill both of them. But that was
Okay.
I'm not, because like I was horrified. I was like, oh my gosh, that's such a gruesome way to go. Because like
it's kind of like
because
what
like he
Din
talks
Djarin
about
did to that one guy.
That's true. Well, but I feel like this way,
yes, it was like
it's way more gruesome.
That's
it was
fair,
like
yeah.
Thanos in What If you've seen it.
I haven't seen it.
Oh yes.
But all I'm saying is later it talks about him looking at the two separate pieces, and you're like, yeesh, that's gruesome. But then like it's also the shock of like, whoa, Elzar definitely needs some more time upside down in the ocean meditating.
Yep.
So anyways,
grounding.
yeah, all of that to say, the story, this is one of the ones that like you really need to read it intently to get
Right.
the full breadth of the story,
Right.
because there are so many subtle nuances, more so than the other two books, and it's very very detail driven, very character based. There's a lot of character what I'm completely blanking on the word, development. There you go. There's a lot of character development, and in the same fashion, there are also a lot of characters that kind of bounce back and forth. So,
Right.
yeah.
But the end. So if we just go over to end, then I guess. But so the whole main point is that Elzar's going to turn the thrusters on for full blast, so it doesn't fall into the planet.
Oh yeah.
And so Chansey and Nan figure this out, and they're about to do it while he's on his way. And so when he discovers them, he thinks they're keeping them off. And then
Yeah, because
that's why
they knew that they were like
right.
still bad.
And it's literally within seconds, because like 5 seconds later, when he goes to look at the screen, he's like, it starts beeping. It's like, too late, evacuate now.
Yeah, I mean, that's really tough. Because if he hadn't have done that, they all would have been saved.
Yeah, and so then while this is happening,
that's true.
Like as they're entering the atmosphere, this is when the people in the docking bay are able to open up the doors because the decompression won't be as bad. And then a bunch of ships are able to escape. And then at the same time, escape pods are being released with power cells that are for each individual one. So I thought, Leox is the one who opens the dock doors and gets sucked out.
Yep.
So I thought the reason why Bell wasn't going to enter into the ship, because he flew back after he left with the medical bay. Yeah. He was about to go back onto the ship, and then like something in the Force told him not to. So like, yes, he went and helped with the pod release because they were making sure they could release safe. But I thought he was going to catch Leox.
Oh,
I
That
thought he was
was
going to be right there.
he
And, like,
had
it was going to be a
already
scene of
kind
him,
of
like,
left.
right, but it was still like, okay, Bell is still around outside
Yeah,
flying
sure,
around.
sure,
That's what I
sure.
thought. So I thought he was going to, like,
It's so much more in character though that he had a freaking parachute.
well, yeah, now because he's like
Yeah, I
old
was
fashioned.
like, yeah, that's him.
But
But yeah, so and then of course, you know, we've talked about this already, but Stellan dies because he's holding the directional thrusters down to angle the bottom part of the ship away from the city that it was falling into, where even though there was
ocean.
evacuation underway, there would have been thousands upon thousands of deaths. So he steered it into the ocean instead and sacrificed himself so that, you know, thousands of other people wouldn't die. And that was like one of the heaviest hitting moments for me, was his self-realization right before he dies, of like, for the first time he was sure of who he was, and he felt so much more connected with Elzar and Avar because they knew they had like that self-security, the sense of self-security, where he was like really caught up in like being defined by the Jedi Order. It talks about, it was really just like really heartwarming, but it talks about how he basically like finally felt like himself and
right.
finally figured out who he was, because it was the first time he had acted without the direction of the council. It was his own thing, his own decision. And I was like, dude, you guys really went for my heart with this ending.
Right.
Let me see if I can find, there's like one specific line, and then he basically dies right after that.
Right. So I guess it.
Are we just gonna skip over the how the Wookiee stuff?
Oh yeah.
Buriaga.
So we don't even know if he's actually dead. It's highly likely that he's dead,
I feel like it's actually highly likely that he's alive.
but there's a possibility. So one of the main efforts that they go through in the ship is there are these two docking bays, the one where all the cargo vessels were, and then the one where all the refugees were, the more personal vessels. And the one where the cargo vessels were was also where they actually had some Rathtars. So that sucks. So their goal was to blow open those doors, get as many ships into that docking bay as possible, blow open the doors, and have people leave. And to do that, they flew a lot of the smaller ships through the space station using this
that's what I didn't
subsystem.
get. Like, I understood like they're able to like change the walls and hallways and
Yeah.
rooms, but like, what was the point of the smaller ships flying through?
Well, because the bigger ones just couldn't fit.
So they're able to get like a single like flyer jet through, and they couldn't get like a big
the hallway is big enough for
carrier.
smaller ships, but it wasn't big enough for the freighters. And so they were like, well, still, we can, a bunch of people can run through, the ships can go through, and that's more people that get out, essentially.
Yeah.
So they go through all this trouble. They start fighting the Rathtars, and Buryaga, after fighting really, really well, finally ends up getting caught by one of them, knocks his lightsaber out of his hand, and presumably takes him up into the ceiling, and he is killed, if not by the the Rattar, by the door being blown open into vacuum, and if not by that, the space station hitting the ocean. But we don't know.
And
But he could have a.
what I didn't know though is apparently Wookiees have claws.
Oh,
I didn't know that Wookiees had
you've
claws.
never played Knights of the Old Republic, have you?
No, I haven't.
So
Are they retractable? Like
they are retractable. They are retractable, and if in the expanded universe, at least, if you use your claws, if a Wookiee uses his claws or her claws against another one in a fight, it is extremely dishonorable and uncivilized.
But what about brass
And
knuckles that have lightning?
it's a very different thing.
Okay.
And so you end up getting labeled what is deemed Mad Claw,
Ooh.
and you get exiled on Kashyyyk. from your
GG.
village. They like
GG.
send you down into like the lower levels of the forest where you basically have to fend for yourself.
Okay, but the issue is they're given claws, but they're not allowed to use them. That's so mean.
Well, they're
That's
given
like-
claws. They're given claws because it's like an evolutionary feature, but they're civilized beings,
That's
and
fair.
so they don't want to result to like
Their old ways.
being quote unquote savages or uncivilized or anything like that, because they're better than that now. But obviously, one, he didn't grow up on Kashyyyk, so he probably wouldn't know that, and two, that's a pretty good reason to
yeah,
use your
trying to
claws.
survive.
Yeah.
So. But also,
So
yeah, I'm surprised Black Chrysanthemum didn't use his claws.
he didn't need to. He had knuckles.
Oh, so speaking of Biraga and something about a Wookiee, so there's this spy here which says a deep metallic groan sounded throughout the depths of the station, like the moan of an enormous dying animal. Bell's hair stood on end.
Oh,
So
yeah.
did Biriaga's, which was a fearsome sight to behold. I can't picture like a Wookiee like their hair is like I don't know. I was just he got
I
electrocuted and
loved
it's just
his
like
character develop in this book.
Yeah, I did too.
Him and Belle's relationship was so good. And
Yep.
like they're like best friends that they train together. It kind of for me it felt a lot like Anakin and Ahsoka's relationship, as in like Anakin's like Ahsoka's master, but a lot of the times we're viewing it as they're both Padawans and the way they interact with each other sometimes. So that's how I felt. Like they felt like equal. It felt like Belle was a little bit more ahead at some points, but then
did they say that Biraga's like
older. Like
isn't he like 100 years old or something? Or
Yeah,
yeah.
he's a lot older than Bell.
so like he's so I wonder if he ages if Wookiees age like Grogu's species. Just because
Not as
They-
intense, but yeah, they do.
but
They
like
do. It's similar to that, yeah.
because I don't know. I always picture these creatures in Star or these beings in Star Wars species that when they live super long, they just like age into maturity like humans. Like all of them when they're 25 years old are just like regular adults. But I guess that's not true in Star
I don't
Wars.
think that's true.
I mean, it's not true
Because-
for humans.
I mean, it's not true
Well,
for
you know what I
Grogu,
mean.
though.
Like you're an adult when you're 25 or whatever. Like
Well, that's when your frontal cortex is fully grown or whatever.
yeah, something about the brain. I don't know.
But I mean, Grogu is like what 50, almost probably 56 at this point.
He's over 50, but
And
he's like a baby still.
he's Miles talks more than he does, and Miles is 6 months old.
Does Miles flip?
Well, I don't
You
know.
gotta
what he
work.
does
You
in
gotta
his
work with
sleep.
him more.
He could be in his sleep. Somehow he ends up on the other side of his crib. I don't know. So
I mean, I do that.
You sleep in a crib?
Yep.
don't judge him, Jeremiah. Sometimes you sleep on a chair. He sleeps in a crib.
Yeah, you sleep on your recliner. It's the same thing.
I've
If
been
I-
sleeping on my recliner a lot the last like month.
Oh well,
It's been rough.
sounds like
Well,
an
we had-
after podcast conversation. that
Yeah,
we'll have.
So this is everyone. This is a really good book. This is a
Yes.
really
It's a
really
fun
good
read.
book, and it's one that'll make you feel. It'll break your heart. Because I don't think I said this. He has a crib because he's having a baby. No, we're not.
Oh,
Will,
No,
come
we're
on,
not.
Will.
I don't actually have a crib. I sleep in my bed, and only in
Some
my
may
bed.
call it a crib. Depends on how you.
It's in my crib.
what was that hand
Oh.
gesture you just made?
It's my crib.
Yeah,
Anyways.
chill.
You gotta show us what's in your fridge.
Uh,
Like the show cribs.
I've got a Mountain Dew Major Melon.
Mm.
This is a great Mountain Dew flavor.
Did you get
It's
the
McKay's.
gingerbread Mountain Dew yet?
No,
I hear it's
I
terrible.
I didn't.
Ooh,
I'm not that
Andrew.
brave.
Okay, I can't wait. I'll tell you after, maybe if I remember. Because
But,
we're gonna get on a long tangent.
But yeah, I remember. So I forgot to tell you guys this, but I read the first 13 chapters like a week and a half ago because I got the book and I was reading when we were talking about me doing this. I was reading the third Thrawn book, and I got done with the third Thrawn book.
Oh, because you're behind on books because of the game. because of KOTOR.
Because of KOTOR, yeah. So I read the third Thrawn book. I finished it, and I still it was like February. It was like the end of January, early February. I was like, I don't want to read it now because then I'm gonna forget stuff and I'm gonna have to reread it or something. And
That's
so I was
fair.
like, well, the third Thrawn Ascendancy book literally is the beginning of the other first Thrawn book. It's like, well, I'll just read how that progresses because they came out in the opposite order and I've never read them chronologically. So it's like, oh, I'll just read that. So I read the other Thrawn book, and then I was talking with Will because he was talking about Pokemon Legends Arceus, and I was like, I really
Pretty
want to
dope.
replay Sword because I have Sword.
Oh, Sword's
And so I randomly just like started playing Sword, and then I was like, oh man, I need to finish this book. So like a week and a half ago, I started the first 13 chapters, got through those, started playing Sword for a while, and then it's like, oh, I need to finish this book. And then I read pretty much last night and today, finished the book. So
Fun.
it was good. It was a good read. And I was telling Micaiah earlier, I was like, they have no hesitation in killing off main characters in this book. So
nope.
if you're gonna read it, just prepare yourself. It's
Yep.
a heavy
Yep.
hitter. And now it ends with Martian Rowe broadcasting to the galaxy that like basically it's his galaxy now.
And that he's going to
Yep.
bring an end to the Jedi.
Yep.
And he's the eye
Yep.
of the storm.
Jerica, break your heart is an understatement. Yeah,
It's good,
yeah.
dude. I like
It'll
it.
rip your heart out.
I still
Stomp
can't
on
believe
it.
how easily they were able to fix that water station.
Well, it's the
Like,
Force, bro.
I know,
Dude,
but I'm
come
just saying,
on.
like, they had to send this whole giant Starlight beacon to use a tractor beam to raise that thing when they could have just got a few Jedi to do it with
Okay, but
Avar.
the question is, you can do a
And this
lot
could have
under
all been
pressure.
avoided.
You could do a lot under pressure, and I don't
Yeah,
think
I'm
it would
saying,
ever
like-
been avoided. I think at one point they were gonna still have those people come on the Starlight Beacon, it would just fall somewhere else.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Like, I wonder if this is why there's no big ships for like the Jedi ever again. Like, is this why, like, the next big ship that's kind of similar to this is like
Star
the Death
Destroyers
Star,
or Death Star.
you know?
But
Because, like, I don't know if it's as big, but it's, the way the book
What if-
described it, it seemed like it was a really
if-
big ship.
What if they make Starlight Beacon 2 and it's just a bigger Starlight Beacon?
And then it's like half cracked.
Yeah, it's not finished yet.
It's
but
not
they need to
finished.
make a third one that's built within a planet.
Yeah, Starlight Moonlight
Or no,
Beacon.
built into a star.
That would kill everyone. But
True.
yeah, you could throw that out there.
I mean, they'll figure it out.
Yeah, it's Star Wars.
Either way, all three of them are going to get blown up. So
Yeah, in the same fashion.
Yep.
The exact same fashion. In an exact copy of Star Wars: A New Hope. J.J. Abrams.
it's not
Anyways. It was
Still
close
better
enough.
than okay.
So I guess what are the predictions for how the story is going to continue?
Okay.
Because there's still all that stuff like I mentioned.
Ember's
the
gonna die.
Yorick, Ty Yorick. You have that device that turns off energy weapons.
Okay, but then Chansey was talking about this gravitational weapon too. She's like, she made some new gravitational weapon, and I'm like, what kind of? Everyone is just making new weapons in this series,
And somehow they all fail because we never see them ever again.
or they haven't been used yet.
But then we also need to think of like we got Lorna D is out there still
Oh,
somewhere.
it's talked about in another book.
Oh,
Well,
frick.
Lorna D's getting her own novel or like mini story or something.
Okay, and then
Not
the
Says
really.
Martian Rowe.
the other one, Panada,
No one cares.
which we kind of discussed whether or not he survived at the end of the second book or not. I said he survived. You guys said he died, but
Yeah, Panada's dead. He's
I don't
gone.
remember, but I'm gonna say if you told me he's dead, he's dead. I don't remember.
Oh, Jerica says Lorna has an audiobook.
Oh,
There you go.
not
there you go.
but-
Too.
okay. But last audiobook they had became a real book.
Yeah, they'll probably release the script.
Yeah.
Anyway, so and then we never
that's
got
talked about. So Pan Ada is apparently talked about it in the Lorna audiobook. Jerica apparently has all the information.
Dude, apparently Jerica's all in this, and earlier, Andrew, you're looking for a certain page, and she pulled it up.
Yeah,
It's
she had it.
333,
Yeah.
so she's like. Also,
Maybe-
let's give out shouts to Jerica because she said that Lost Star is still the best Star Wars book, and we need to go over that.
Well, what does she know?
So-
Whatever.
Well, apparently she knows a lot. Jerica's my new favorite person, so let's go.
Oh,
I'm down for
wow.
that book.
Whoa.
I just
no
really want
one's
to.
no one's gonna even want Andrew back. It's just gonna be, hey,
Yeah.
so when can we get Jerica?
Yeah, Jerica, get a good, decent webcam and a good mic,
And we can break down the Lost Star.
You could be a guest star once in a while on. Well, if I'm ever have to take a week off, you and Jerica can have episodes.
Okay, what the heck?
And then make sure if you're gonna do that, bring me back. I'll read the other material.
Ooh.
And then we can have this big party without Jeremiah and
That's
talk
fine.
about how he
Ooh.
spoiled something for me behind his back.
Ooh.
Well, I thought you listened to the podcast, but apparently not.
Jeremiah, I have no time to listen because, like, I don't want to. I
mean,
hate.
you do.
Well, I
You
literally
can always
have been-
find time for Empire Radio. It's always in your ears.
That is true. Just put
What?
it in your ears, and you can go for a run and listen to us.
I can't do that.
Really? Why?
I have to be really intentionally
Tupac
focused.
only. That's why. That makes sense. You only
What?
listen to Tupac? When
Oh
you're
yeah,
done?
yeah.
You
fair.
do?
No,
Oh, I was like, okay.
no. I have some Kendrick.
Ooh.
My running playlist is a mixed experience. It's
Really?
a lot of K-pop, a lot of metal that I listened to back in the day,
Mm.
and some hype rap songs.
You know what's on my playlist?
You don't
Is it
run.
Is it Carmen?
No, I don't have a playlist.
He doesn't
That's-
run.
I don't run.
But if he did, yes, it would be Carmen for sure.
It would be Heart of a Champion on blast.
No. All right.
Anyways.
Anything else, boys,
Nah,
on this
no.
book?
I mean,
How
we
many-
could go way longer too. But
How many Rathtars out of 10 Rathtars are we rating this book?
I'm at 8.5 Raptors out of this.
Ooh.
book.
But
I-
you can't cut one in half, though.
Yeah, it'll reproduce.
It reproduces. You can
They
only
reproduce
do,
by fission. So
supposedly.
I'm gonna give it a 9.
Ooh.
It would have been a 10 if it wasn't as slow at the beginning, but I give it a 9.
Drew? You gonna go 8 or you gonna go 9? You can't have a
Okay.
half.
So stupid. I'll go 8.
Hey, it's canon. I'm sorry. It's canon.
It is canon, and therefore it matters.
Oh, that's fair.
So 8? 9?
Yeah, I said 8.
Oh, you said 8? Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I was like,
didn't
what?
I'll probably give it 8 out of 10. Just because, one, it started out slow, and I felt like they had missed opportunities for, like, fixing problems, like with Geode and the thrusters way earlier.
Dude,
So
8
how-
is still
how-
a really high
How would
number,
Geode? How would Geode stick to the ship though?
They talk about, what's his face had magnetic things. That's how
He had
he's-
magnetic gloves.
Yeah.
though. Yeah. so
Geode
could-
doesn't have hands.
You can
Oh, he
duck,
doesn't.
duct
What is
tape-
it?
duct
This
tape
is like
those gloves
what is this
to
like
his-
Rayman?
Is there an image of him somewhere? 'Cause
Yeah.
I can't.
I
Yeah,
just,
there is-
I just
there
pictured him
is.
as the Thing from Fantastic Four.
No,
Dude,
no.
I
he's lit-
honestly pictured
No,
him as
Jeremiah.
like Iron Man.
no. What? No, he's
Yeah.
literally a rock.
What?
He still has appendages, doesn't he?
No, hold on. This is gonna freaking blow your
Are you gonna
mind.
share your image?
This is gonna
on Twitter?
blow your mind, y'all. I'm about to send it to you in Discord. Hold on.
Why don't you just share your screen?
Oh yeah, I guess I could.
Well, that's not going to show up on the YouTube version because,
No, so-
Jeremiah will
Share.
have to do more editing later then.
yep.
Jeremiah, here you go. I'm gonna send it to you. I'm gonna send it to you in Discord. Hold on.
I was gonna say I
You
can't
think
pull
I?
it
You
up.
you guys thought I was joking. You thought I was joking.
What? What does he even do?
That is the whole point. That's why people when this came out.
What?
they were-
He's a
Yes.
rock.
What do you? That's what I'm saying. That's why people were like, Star Wars is giving us a rock now. That's the thing, and that's what's so funny about his character, because you never see him move. No one ever sees him move. No one ever sees him
What
do
the
anything
heck?
like punching in hyperspace coordinates or anything, but somehow he just does it. Like when he moves in between the hostage and whatever
How do you have an
whiny boy baby
attachment to a
pants.
rock?
Right. Will, it's not just a boulder, it's a rock.
So
SpongeBob.
did they say
So-
that in the book?
Yes, because remember when Elzar meets him the first time? He's like, "Oh, I thought it was once a pillar that was infused with the Force, and it was a temple." And it's like, no, it's the navigator. Like, this isn't a landmark. This is a navigator. So, like, you think about this. Think about this. So, the hostage situation between
Yeah, Jeremiah,
Whiny
that
Boy
wouldn't
Baby.
work. You think that wouldn't work when you wanted.
But listen, that's why his character's so genius. Because, like, when he's talking about being a ladies' man, like, you look across the hangar, and it's just a rock. But like everyone can understand him. Everyone understands him when the hostage situation is happening, and he just shows up in between Whiny Boy Baby Pants and the hostage, the kid.
Oh yeah.
It's just, where did the rock come from?
I
Wow.
didn't.
I don't know.
I
if
must
this
have
helps.
missed all this because I didn't.
That
But did
was
it
the
say
whole.
that?
Yes.
Yes.
That was
When-
the whole
But when
running
did it,
joke.
Was that must have been at the very beginning of the book when it said that? Like,
Hold on.
I don't remember them saying anything like that.
Hold on.
Jericho, find the
I got you.
page.
What
No,
page?
I'm
what
looking
paragraph?
right now. I'm looking at it right now. Hold on.
Sorry,
Hold on.
Jericho's gonna beat you. She's better than you. Sorry.
Replacement. Sorry.
I'm never coming back again.
That's not
Hey,
true.
don't.
You're
don't
gonna
say
see that Vader versus Obi-Wan again. You're gonna be back.
Let me
Or Maul.
find.
Wait, that's camp.
Okay. Here's the chapters. Chapter 2.
Yeah. What page?
Okay.
Dude, half of this podcast is Jeremiah flipping through the pages.
Yeah.
Jeremiah, you're so loud. Your
Can
mic
you
is
hear
big.
that's super loud?
Yeah,
Oh.
it's super
Okay.
loud.
I got it.
Page what?
I got it. Page 30. Page 30. Then, amid the mist, he caught sight of the plinth. It was not especially tall, perhaps the same height as himself, nor did it retain any of the ceremonial carvings or paint it must have worn in the millennia past. Time had worn away everything but the smooth brownish surface of the stone. Had this once stood over a sacrificial altar? In this moment, surrounded by the silence and the swirling of fog, Elzar could not help feeling the sacredness of this place, this moment. Was it his imagination, or was the force stronger here? Elzar was pretty sure he hadn't dreamed it up. I bet our ride isn't even here yet, he mused as he studied the plinth. Orlo wanted me to find this ancient relic to understand it the best I can, if I can. Should I kneel, close his eyes? Or should he kneel, close his eyes? How best could he pay respect to a culture he neither knew nor could scarcely guess at? Elzar? Orlo's voice was closer. He glimpsed her, blah, blah, blah. She says, "Oh, good, you've met our navigator." Elzar stared at her, nonplussed. He then turned his head back toward the plinth. It wasn't his imagination. It was looking back at him. "This rock," he began. "It's not a rock," Orla finished. She gave the plinth a friendly sort of nudge. It didn't move. "This is our Ventian navigator for the trip to Starlight." So Elzar straight up thinks it was a rock.
That changes everything.
Okay, but like, I still thought of it as like.
Oh, thanks, Jerica. Maybe I can record myself reading these books for you guys.
I thought that like it was still like the thing where like you're up close to a rock that's not moving. That looks like a person.
No. It's a rock. Like, it's a rock. Like, this is like this
But,
is
like, does it say
it's like
anywhere else like how
Well, in the comics,
that-
it does, right?
Jeremiah, that image I sent you was a canon, like that was concept
I
art.
get that, but like him performing tasks and no one sees him do it. It just gets done. Like
Like if you go read interwoven in the story, you notice when he does things or he just like shows up, it never talks about him actually doing it.
Gets there.
It's just done.
oh, I just assumed that he walks into the room like everyone else.
No. That's the great thing about this character.
But that's just I don't know. That's just an assumption. Like I don't get it.
That-
Like
That's the beauty of his. That's what makes it so humorous.
yeah, but
that's
how is
why
anyone else not doing that same thing? How is everyone else not just a rock that just magically appears? It doesn't state that.
Wait, Jeremiah, why are you so confused about this?
Cause like I don't get it. It
What do you
doesn't
mean
say
you don't
everyone
get?
else walked in. Like it says, oh, so and so was
Yeah,
there
but
back in the room.
that's
It
literally
implies that they
what.
walked there. Like when Geode
But
arrives, it's
okay,
implied that he walked
but
there.
that's the thing. Knowing that he's a rock,
You know that's
but never
kind of a
explaining
joke.
how he does things. That's the beauty. That's the whole beauty of it.
Yeah,
Like how is he going to punch in navigational coordinates?
just have hands.
But it never talks about him actually doing it. It just says he does it. So
Okay.
it leaves the explanation out intentionally as a storytelling device. So like
I
it
don't
doesn't
know.
show. It doesn't
And they
like
talk
okay.
about how that the bullet or the laser that the guy shoots and it bounces off everything and he jumps in front of it to
Yeah,
absorb
but
it.
it doesn't say he ran from the
Yeah,
ship. Like
it
no,
just
he's
said
just
he was in
there.
front of it,
He's just there.
which I thought he was instantly dead, and then they're like, "Oh, because of how he is, he just absorbed it."
I guess I just assumed that he walked like a human person.
It's kind of like the Weeping Angels, way less scary in Doctor Who. We're like, so do you know
I
the
do.
Weeping?
No.
So the Weeping Angels, there's these stone statues of angels, and they're incredibly fast. And if they catch you, they send you back in time. But the scary thing is they don't move when you're looking at them. All of their movement happens when you're not looking.
Yep.
So they never had to animate the Weeping Angels moving. They just had statues made. So literally when the camera wasn't on them, they moved the statues. Like that was the great thing about the storytelling is like you were completely left to your imagination as to what was happening when you weren't looking. And it was the same thing with Geode where it's like obviously like he does stuff. Obviously like he has conversations, but we the reader never get the conversations. We're just told that he's flirting with what's her face or that he ends up moving or has the capacity to move like that, but it's never like
code.
Elzar jumped in and did a front flip and he not as like it's like no, Geo just does stuff, and like that's what made it so humorous the entire story because I knew that going in because obviously when the book came out the whole Star Wars community was like seriously a rock, like this is the character you're giving us, a freaking like stone pillar, but he like does stuff.
Lots of stuff.
And that's
I would have never guessed that's what it was based on what you just read.
yeah. Well, because a plinth, if you look that up,
I guess I don't know what a plinth is.
its definition is
close to a blimp.
a heavy base supporting a statue or vase. Or in architecture, the lower square slab at the base of a column. So literally a slab of stone.
See, I thought that was just some alien
Star Wars term.
Yeah.
Or species.
And so it's like
but that's
the
why
whole
he was
time
like,
I
but
pictured
it's
it
a rock.
But I just pictured it was like
I thought it was Iron
the
Man.
Thing from Fantastic Four. I guess that's how I pictured it the whole time because like he's described as doing things that someone could do.
And
like,
that is the beauty of it because the whole time you're wondering, the whole time you ask yourself how, and they never tell you. It's just this thing that happens like when no one's looking.
It changes his character so much for me.
Right.
I don't know.
I love Geode.
I guess I'd.
Is there like a place like you can go and see all the characters before the book or after the book comes out?
Actually, there's a whole gallery.
Arts.
They have a gallery database on StarWars.com.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good to know because there's still characters. I'm
like for example, Chansey is black.
Yeah, I saw some of these recently, but like
so is Alfie. Like
yeah.
the characters, huh?
Yeah, but like Martian Rowe,
he doesn't sound like his voice or he doesn't look like his voice sounds true.
He just looks like a skinny guy with a helmet on. Like I pictured him more as like a big husky like.
Oh really?
Muscular.
I always thought he was like a scrawny piece of crap.
I kind of pictured him like a Viking almost, like big muscular, tall Viking, but he's not.
I think even the way they describe him, it's like he's like looked down upon because he's not as like.
Yeah, I really like how diverse the characters are in the High Republic. Like they're pulling from everywhere for the influences for the characters, which is super cool.
There's toys to
Drew gets distracted on the Tories. Anyways, so all I'm saying is it's literally a rock.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Well,
And everyone wants me to
apparently he
read.
can still do anything, so they could have just
Yeah.
put him on an airlock. A Jedi could have just used the Force and like moved him outside the ship.
Not with the thing prowling around in the
They
ship.
still could use the Force. It was just
Not very. It literally talks about Elzar when he tried to catch Burryaga's lightsaber. When he dropped it, he barely caught it. And it was something as small as a lightsaber.
Yeah, but they were closer to the thing. I'm just saying.
Dude, I
Like,
did not know Bell looked like that either. What the heck?
Yeah.
what? He's on the cover. He's like on every cover.
Yeah, he's
I don't know
literally
what
on
those.
the.
Dude, there's Jedi on covers. Like, it
Dude, that's
doesn't
literally
say.
Orla,
Orla, yep.
Yes.
Bell, Burryaga, Stellan, and
Briaga's
Indira.
a Wookiee, if you didn't know.
I knew
And he has a
that.
blue belt sash.
But like they don't like describe them in big detail in the book. I feel like.
That's why I always look at the concept art.
So like
I'm
I
constantly
don't know.
when I read a book, any Star Wars book, and they mention an alien species or like a certain type of ship, I'm always looking stuff up. In fact, a lot of times I'll be in bed when I'm reading before we go to sleep, and if Micaiah has her tablet out or something, I've asked her many times to like straight up pause what she's doing. Like,
look up something.
Micaiah, will you open up a new tab and look up Gran? What do the Gran look like? And then she shows me. I'm like, oh, that makes a lot more sense. So,
All right.
anyways,
Well,
now that your whole
Now that
your whole mental perception of a character has changed,
yeah, it does change.
I don't know.
he's literally a rock.
Well, I'm not
Because,
gonna
like, how
reread
does-
the book, so like,
Like how? Aw, but it's like, how does he get off the ship? Is it like a? Is it like the
Just
SpongeBob episode
grab like.
I don't know anything about SpongeBob. Sorry.
with the rock?
There's a rock in
The-
SpongeBob.
Yeah, the pioneers used to ride those babies for miles.
Pioneers.
Yeah. Yep, it's fine. It's fine.
All
We can move
right.
on.
Any final thoughts on the Fallen Star?
You should read it if you haven't.
I did. It took me a month.
Took me a day, literally 24 hours.
Took
Weird
me-
flex, but okay.
A shift and a half to listen to it.
All right. Well, let's transition over to everyone's favorite part of the show.
The angelic voice.
Yep.
It's voicemail time.
Heck yeah, it is.
Yep. All right, we got a bunch of voicemails. So the first one from last week, he sent his first message in, and second message this week. So from Jedi Master, let's have a listen.
Oh.
Empire Radio. I have fun. So hypothetically, you're teleported to the Star Wars universe. Number one, which era would it be? Number two, you have unlimited funds,
Ooh.
unlimited credits. What would you do? And number three, would you become a Jedi? So yeah, that's my question. What would you do if you were instantly teleported to any era of Star Wars? All the best, and may the Force be with you always.
All right. Well, if we have
Sweet.
unlimited funds,
I'm paying off my school debt.
I'm going to Canto Bight and just playing at the casino all night long. Like, if
and he
unlimited
loses
funds.
all of his unlimited funds. Somehow Jeremiah finds a way to lose his unlimited funds
That's
at the
probably
slot
why
machines.
the Force has not given him his 5 million.
Ah,
500 million.
Yeah. Sorry, Jeremiah. The Force knows.
I would want. Okay, so I'd love to go back to the time of the Jedi, but also it's super
you would.
dangerous. So I would need to be a Force user, and then I would pay someone to teach me really well,
All right.
or I would just like. I don't. I guess I'd rather like the safest would be the High Republic, because there's so much of the galaxy. Like this is all happening in the Outer Rim. So like if you lived in the the core, you're fine.
Yeah, but
For now,
Martian could still. He said he
He's-
could go anywhere in the galaxy at any point. He
he's
said
coming at you.
he could land in the Chancellor's.
I just pay him off.
Yeah.
Jerica says High Republic gonna be a Jedi, Stellan's Padawan. That is a
Ooh.
one-way ticket to heartache, right there.
And being part of
But I respect it. I would definitely want to be either his Padawan or Elzar's, assuming he turns out okay.
I like Indira a lot. She's cool.
Yeah, Indira is great. Or
she's very
I would go back.
endearing.
Shut your dirty mouth.
Wow.
I would like to go back a little bit before all this started and be Loading Greatstorm's Padawan.
Ooh.
He was sick.
So B-Bell.
Or
Damn.
well, yeah.
GG.
Or
maybe actually
but
find
I
him.
get it. Yeah, I get
but
it.
like be like get the full experience and not have my master turn to a husk. Or Porter Ingle. I'd love to be his Padawan.
Ooh, what was his?
Blade Bardota.
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 I want to see that.
Oh yeah, I would imagine. Oh, Porter Ingle. Yeah, he has concept art on StarWars.com.
I
Do
saw
you want
it
to
the
know
other day.
what he looks like?
He looks exactly
Well,
like.
send it to me.
picture
I
him.
don't know.
Just go to StarWars.com.
Where do you find all this concept art?
StarWars.com.
StarWars.com.
I get that. Why is it going that screen?
All right.
Okay, so if you go to StarWars.com, obviously you're gonna get bombarded with Mando or Boba stuff.
The Mando
But
stuff.
then-
Come on, be real. Focus.
Yeah,
Mando.
but if you go down below that, there's like a little High Republic section.
Yes, I was there. But then I don't see. Is there a concept art section?
No, you just hit Explore. It says a new era of Star Wars is here. You hit Explore.
All right. Well, you can do that on your own time. We're already going super long, so
Yeah.
probably like pre-Clone Wars, like between 1 and 2 would be cool. 'Cause you still got like all the best like technology of the day. Like you're not like the High Republic. We're still trying to figure out hyperspace lanes. Like so, like but before the war comes out, like I said, I don't want to be in the Clone Wars, like being destroyed by B1 battle droids. That would suck. But then I could be a foundling, so never know. But I don't know. Anywhere that had good internet.
I'm just trying to picture Jeremiah as a foundling.
I was gonna say. I feel like Jeremiah would be the one foundling that probably wasn't found.
What does that even mean?
Dang, dude, that's rough.
That's kind of rough.
That was
I just feel like
wow.
they're just like, oh wait, we don't. Find
He said
Jeremiah."
he's the foundling that wasn't ever found. So he's not a foundling.
That's the name of a book right there.
Yeah.
A love book,
Anyways.
love story, probably.
No. All right, Drew. Did you answer your question?
No.
Yeah. Oh.
I would want to go to probably like right now in the Mando universe, and try to be Ahsoka's Padawan.
Oh. She probably wouldn't take you, but good idea.
Try to be.
Oh. Yeah.
You have too many. You have a kid. You have a wife.
Well, okay, but
You
I
have too
don't
many
think
attachments.
we're put in this universe like in our current state.
It says
Because-
you. The question was if you could be teleported or sent to.
Okay, but then you had the same. Andrew was saying that he was going to be a Jedi, and he has a cat, so he has a lot.
Well, I mean,
of
Belle has
attachment.
a Charhound.
Yeah.
Oh, which how does that work? That's an attachment.
Yeah, but it's not a woman or another man, so they don't care.
Okay.
All right. Next voicemail. We've talked about her a lot tonight. Jerica.
Hey.
Ooh.
Hey guys, it's Jerica. First of all, hello Andrew, it's nice to see you. Second of all, now that we've made it through a lot of the High Republic, what is a character that you guys relate to most? Mine would have to be Stellan Gios, just because I'm kind of a mom friend and he always worried about the order more than himself, and I also struggle with thinking of others before myself. So it took a very long time for me to understand that, and I liked watching his journey through that as well. As always, thank you for everything, and may the Force be with you.
Thank you. Did she
Alright.
wait? Did she know? Did she know about me being here?
That's what I'm saying. We announced it last week.
You must have,
We
because
definitely did.
that would have been a bold. She would have been a bold one.
Oh, she could have had the full. Is that what
If
you're saying?
she had like just gone headfirst into that, and it was like Tanner.
What's wrong with Tanner?
Well,
Just
someone other than me.
What was
No,
Tanner?
it wasn't.
Ugh.
Damn.
Wow, way to take everything out of context. Anyways, Elzar man.
I think
Yep.
I think Elzar too, because
Yeah.
he's like all over the place, and I'm kind of all over the place.
I relate to having something internally and finding balance in that, in the sense of like my anxiety and the mental health stuff that I've gone through. And so like there was something I instantly related to. Obviously, I'm like not dealing with going to the dark side or killing people.
That we know of.
No, I can tell you that's not a thing.
He worked on those issues already. They're
You
taken.
do
Yeah. We're
I was
good
gonna
with
say
that.
you do have a red lightsaber hanging right now.
Yeah, it's not really a
That's
lightsaber.
not gonna
though.
hurt anybody.
That's like a flashlight with like a red tube on it. It's not like the one I have on my desk here,
Oh, whoa.
Oh.
Okay. Chill.
but it's
chill.
purple.
Oh, so you're
Right
good.
now.
You're good. You're good.
But anyways, yeah. So Elzar for sure, for me. I like his. I actually really like his character a lot too. So
Drew.
I think
Geode.
The Rock.
it's like Drew does stuff. We don't know how he does it. He just does it. He's here.
Yeah, no. I would say probably Belle. Like it reminds me a
Oh,
lot
yeah.
of like me as like a kid, like in like my high school age, because like especially the way he interacts with his dog. For a while, like my dog was like my best friend.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
there was a time in my life as like in that when I was younger that like literally I just hung out with my dog for like a year, and I didn't really talk to a lot of people or interact with a lot of people, and it was just my dog. So I feel like that's why I draw to that character a lot, is actually his relationship with the Charhound and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
Cool.
Sweet. That was a great question.
yeah,
All right. So now we have a string of 4
Oh gosh.
from
Will?
You Know Him, You Love Him.
Hey.
Will I Was. So let's
All
listen
right.
to the first one. And this is a continuation of his story from last week, or his thing that he did last week. So let's
I
listen
hope
to Will.
Andrew listened.
No.
Hey Empire Radio, I hope you're doing well today. As you know, last week I introduced my droid BB-22. It seems in his excursions this week, he brought back a... Excuse me, I was just about to introduce you. Yeah, you better apologize. Anyways, he brought back BB-8, and it has been a wild week. Don't try to make up excuses. You know what you did on Kessel.
Uh-oh.
Yes,
Oh, boy.
I had to bring that
Heyo.
up. Now, shush. But, I hope you have a better week than I'm having right now. Oh, boy, I hope Poe comes.
You're probably the only one that has ever said that.
Oh.
Oof.
All right. Well, let's jump right into part 2.
Hey, Empire Radio. As you know, I have had a wild start to my week so far. Yes, it's been wild because you won't tell me where BB-8 is. He's gone, and I can't find Poe without BB-8. He won't talk to me anymore, apparently because I hurt his feelings.
What's going on?
But, like, I supposed to find him? If anybody in the Empire knows where Poe might be,
Drew?
I don't care. I don't
might be
know.
pretty hard, but yeah, I would appreciate it.
Poe is like my least favorite character of all Star Wars, besides Broom Kid.
I was gonna say there's a few others that I feel like
I
are
said
worse for you.
besides Broom Kid.
I don't know why you hate him so much. He's just
And
trying
Ryan
to-
Johnson, if he's a character, I would hate him.
Oh gosh.
Oh gosh! All right.
Anyways.
let's just go into number 3 here from Will.
Hey, Empire Radio. I hope you enjoyed my skits.
Yeah.
It's nice to have Andrew back on the podcast for a night also. It's a nice surprise that I was spoiled on
Oh,
from
Oh,
Instagram DMs.
shots fired.
We've been
Yeah, it
DMing
was
back
definitely me.
and forth pretty consistently. We've still been trying to meet up, but we've both been busy, and I can respect
Can't walk
that.
down the street.
Anyways, it's nice to have him back on the podcast tonight to see what, or I guess hear what conversations come up. Hopefully it's not another melon one
Oh gosh.
or ice
Ooh.
cream one.
here's the thing.
No.
Yeah. But welcome back for the night, Andrew. I hope it was entertaining tonight.
We're almost 3 hours in, so me too.
Are you serious?
No, 2.5. Well, if you're rounding,
I said
Almost.
almost.
Wow.
technically.
No, it has been very entertaining. I'm exhausted. I actually just realized that it was almost midnight here. And Drew, it's not just a walk down the street.
You can literally wave it to each other from your apartment, and he's in class at school, and like wave.
So
to
fun
each other.
fact, he doesn't go to school in person there, and he has an internship that takes up a lot of his time now.
I know he has an internship.
Yeah, well, you would know that we've both been busy. You could just walk down the street. No,
Does he
Come
still,
on.
Does he still work at the store, the grocery store?
one day a week.
And
As we're like telling his whole life.
can't-
Yeah, I
Yeah,
was like,
you
where's
can't-
this? What's the address? Let's
you
write this
can't-
down.
you can't just go do your groceries at the time
Yeah.
he's doing
Yeah, you
his.
You
No,
can't-
because I don't shop. I don't shop there.
Oh wow, you're
Ooh.
too good for his grocery store.
No, I just
He's
it's
not
just,
good enough. That's what it is. All right.
Dang, y'all.
Welcome back, Andrew.
All right. Number 4 from Will. I was.
Hey, Empire Radio. This is my last batch of voicemails for this podcast episode, and it comes with a question. So yesterday I was cleaning out my drawers, and I found a few old game consoles. I found my old Wii, PS1, and
Ooh.
PS2,
Ooh.
along with the Game Boy Color.
Oh.
So I ask, what is the oldest game console you have or have owned? As well as, what is your fondest memory with it? My
Ooh.
fondest memory with my PS1 was playing a game called Hot Shots Golf with my dad all the time.
Interesting.
All right.
All right. Well, I
Oh,
Go ahead, Droobs Gaming.
have an NES,
ooh.
and I think my fondest memory was playing Super Mario Bros. 3 with my brother-in-law, and we beat the whole game in one night, and it was pretty dope.
Dang, dude.
We like took turns like constantly.
Dang,
But it was
dude.
like he lived with me at the time. It was before I got married,
Yeah.
and it was like a bachelor kind of like we can do
Yeah,
whatever
I
you
mean
want to stay
that's
up all night.
that's an event right there.
It was pretty dope. So that's probably my favorite memory, and that was like not even that long ago either. Like well, it was like 8 years ago now or 9, but
That's a long time ago.
That's kind of a long time ago.
it doesn't feel that long ago. But yeah,
I had an NES growing up. I had Duck Hunt. I had the one cartridge,
Ooh.
Duck Hunt, Mario
yep.
combined.
Mhm.
Had the little gun,
I saw
little
that
flash
I
gun.
still don't know how they had that technology back then to use that gun. Like,
It was
it's
just a light that flashes against the screen.
Yeah,
yeah, but how does
the
it
thing
know?
is, because it's round. So the thing is, that game does not work on any flat screen monitor.
Yeah,
Yeah, but how does the game know?
Jeremiah,
How
it's
is it?
magic. It's magic, bro.
Just
Just
like
leave it.
geode?
It's
What?
Geo.
It's a rock.
Yeah. So I really enjoyed that. I think my fondest memory is probably both my Game Boy Color and my Game Boy Advance. I had the clear one. Was spending so much time in the car on trips as a kid playing that thing. Different games, but like I had a Metabots game that I loved.
Metalbot.
Samurai Jack. I had a Samurai Jack game.
Ooh, I remember that game. That game was good.
Yeah, I had a
The
few.
platform runner one.
Yeah. So I think that was one of my fondest memories.
I still have my Game Boy Advance.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I have Ruby in it right now, actually.
Ooh. Yeah, my dad and I we played a lot of Jedi Power Battles on PlayStation 1. And that was back when Mace Windu had a blue lightsaber.
Oh, weird.
Plo Koon had an orange lightsaber.
Okay, come on.
And was it ID Gallia? She had a red lightsaber. And they were all playable characters.
Cool.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So the oldest console I have currently is a PlayStation 2. I have that in my storage thing.
Why do you not play it?
Yeah, Battlefront 2. Why aren't we doing that for Easter?
Yeah, dude, wait, do you have Battlefront 2?
I
No.
do. I just don't have a
Oh,
PS2.
come.
I do. I have it.
This is literally your Dragon Ball Z fusion moment. You both have what the other person
Ooh.
needs.
I don't know what that means, but
And all Andrew wants is pies. Pizza pie. So
pizza pie.
A pizza pie.
pizza pie.
Yeah, so I have that. But the oldest one we had when I was growing up was the OG Atari.
Wow.
I remember playing. The only game I remember from that was this helicopter game.
Pong.
No.
Meteor.
No.
Oh.
So you're this helicopter, and what you had to do is go fly into the battle, land, let people trying to escape the war.
Wait, are you talking about Chopper Command?
Maybe. And so it's like at the time, like tanks are like shooting at you, and it's just like little like dots across the screen.
Yeah,
you have to like let dots board the helicopter.
Yeah,
And you
this is
gotta,
it's Chopper
lift
Command.
up
I'm
before
looking
getting
at it.
shot.
That's
the whole
I remember
crazy.
game concept is you flying, landing, lifting, flying, right?
Yeah, and
Dude,
I remember playing that
this
when
was
I was like
Activision.
What?
This was an
like 3 or 4
Activision
years old.
game.
Oh, cool.
So I remember playing that. But
When you're 3 or 4?
yeah, like super young. And then we had like Sega Genesis growing up.
Ooh, I remember. Dude, Jeremiah, remember we had a Sega too?
No, I don't.
I forget who it was, but someone from our church gave us a Sega.
Well, the Sega was at church, but you never
It
had
was-
it at your house, did you?
No, someone gave us one.
Oh.
Unless we stole the one from church. I just remember. Possibility. My dad was a pastor, okay? So
it's
he
okay
knew
to
about
steal
it.
from a church.
So it's okay from church.
Well,
Yeah,
he knew about it, so. But yeah, because I remember playing Sonic 2 a lot,
Oh yeah.
or watching my older brother play it a lot, and Worm. What's the worm head? What's that?
Tig Dug?
No. I
The
almost
what?
had worm. What's the guy with the worm? And he was like in a space suit.
Oh, Earthworm Jim.
Yes, that game. My brother loved that game.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So then all we have is our last one, which is requested to not be played on air from Hold My Tea or Aira, however you know her. So she requested not to play it on air, but her question is, what kind of music do you think Star Wars characters listen to? So I do remember from Rebels, Zeb putting on music on headphones, and like it was like rock music. So Zeb is definitely
That makes sense.
it was more like a sounded like a more classic rock, 80s rock. But And then
80s rock, you think? I feel like Zeb is more like a 90s rock.
well,
Nah, he's too old. I feel like Zeb is like
80s is too
Zeppelin.
soft
He's
for
like
him,
Zeppelin,
though. I guess.
maybe some Queen. I feel like he would
Queen?
enjoy that.
Queen?
Aerosmith.
Maybe Kiss.
Oh, I can see. I
What? What'd you
I feel
say?
like he would be more
Zeb.
like
No,
a
no.
Kiss.
Zeb is not into Kiss, bro.
Really?
That's
No
metal.
way.
Kiss is metal. He's
Well, depending.
mm,
Yeah.
well. When I
Metal is
think
it's a broad term.
Yeah, that's a little dicey.
it's more closer to metal than
Nah,
rock.
Kiss now is classic rock.
Yeah.
It was metal then, but like it's not.
It's not even
metal now.
close to metal now.
Not even close.
whatever. So we know Zeb. Just like go listen to him on. It's probably season 1 of Rebels. He's listening to music,
I forgot about that.
or maybe no. I think it was maybe season 2 when they found that planet. I forget what they call it, where they had their base. I think he was
Like a bit
found-
like Antan the Bassman.
Season
Yes.
2.
Different base.
Confirmed chat. Season 2.
Jerica, Jerica's killing it. Goodness.
She might replace you, dude.
Well, it was bound to happen sometime, you know.
Yep.
Zeb listens to Led Zeppelin.
Zeppelin. No, it was a joke.
Well, I'm
Led
just saying
Zeppelin.
that actually sounds good, though. I would listen. I feel like he would listen to like AC/DC too, though.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I can see that. Okay, so here we go. Avar, Debussy, Claude Debussy. She would listen to Debussy. Stellan, Bach. That's the way you're supposed to say it, I think. Bach or maybe Beethoven.
Ooh, Beethoven.
So I picture Stellan and Avar both being into classical music, but Avar being into the more dreamy side of things.
Mm-hmm.
So like Claire de Lune, think that side of things.
Mm-hmm.
And Stellan is definitely like rigid, hardcore, like Baroque classical music. It's like really just like bougie and elegant sounding, very complicated, very sophisticated sounding. And then Elzar definitely post rock. So Elzar is listening to Explosions in the Sky or the Alaskan Tapes or This Will Destroy You, like really hardcore, like instrumental ambient rock stuff. Shoegaze, maybe some, but I would say more like post rock stuff.
I feel like
Not that you knew what that was, but
no. I feel like Obi-Wan Kenobi would rock like some old-fashioned like country music for some reason.
oh
like
no,
he's like one of those secret like
he's
he
like
doesn't want
Kenny,
anyone
he's
to
like,
know that he
he's
listens
like
to
Kenny
country
Chesney.
music. He's something like that.
Yeah, like classic.
Why does that make me not like Obi-Wan now? I feel like, but I always see Obi-Wan on Tatooine alone listening to like Johnny Cash though.
No, Cad Bane listens to Johnny Cash.
Well,
He's like, I shot
So-
a man today.
So Jerica says, I see Thrawn as a piano or strings kind of guy. I could also see Thrawn
well, he's
as
organ,
like
his theme music. That's his.
but also do you guys know Tycho?
Watiti?
No, Tycho, not Tyka.
Oh, okay.
Tycho. Tycho.
No.
Okay, well, that's fine. It's not gonna work then. But I could see Thrawn also being like a background electronic instrumental music guy, type of guy that he just listens to while he thinks.
Okay, but Babu Frick listens to ska. Can we at least agree on that?
Oh, 100 and he's freaking Aquabats all the way, bro.
For real.
Just all the way.
Or was it Flatfoot 86 or 56? You ever no Flatfoot?
Yeah.
Dude, that band slapped. I used to go to their shows all the time.
Anakin is probably gosh, what is that band? What is it? Oh shoot. I used to listen to him too. Mayday Parade.
Oh, dude,
Anakin-
stop, dude.
Bro-
They're supposed to come soon. I was gonna go to their show, dude. I love Mayday Parade.
Bro, but think about it. Anakin is Mayday Parade 150%.
Oh yes, crying about.
I wish I knew about music.
Yeah,
Dude,
yeah.
you should listen. Well, I don't actually. I was gonna say it. I feel like Jeremiah would like Mayday Parade, but then again, I don't.
What is it?
Bro,
Manny?
Mayday
Mayday?
Parade.
Mayday Parade. Okay.
Okay, Jeremiah would not like. I don't know. He might be like
I
a
don't
closet
know.
Mayday
I don't
Parade fan.
know. I love Mayday Parade.
I have a special place in my heart for him. Yeah.
There. I think that's the
That's-
first concert I took Stephanie to, and she's never been at a concert before.
That's really cool,
Was
actually.
Mayday Parade at Club 30 Degrees.
Club
but-
3 Degrees. Is that
But
still around?
they're nope, they weren't Club 30 Degrees.
I
anymore,
remember
bro.
when
Oh,
my brother would
Jerka
always play
says
there.
Anakin also screams My Chemical Romance. Also true.
Oh,
Or like
true.
Fallout Boy. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I can see Anakin
So,
doing that.
Who in Star Wars would love Nickelback?
Han Solo.
Really?
150%.
I was gonna say. Yeah, I could see.
Han Solo, easy. Han Solo would definitely be Nickelback. Or
Fives.
nah.
That's what Jericho said. Fives.
I could see that too, I guess. The clones
Maul.
would probably enjoy
Who does,
Maul.
What does Maul listen to?
Ooh.
Does he? I want to say that he listens to like Under Oath, but I feel like that's too spot on though.
No. Or like
Red.
not no. We're going the wrong direction. You were closer with Under Oath.
What?
Maybe Amberlint? Not no.
No. A Day to Remember?
I wish I wish I knew
maybe.
people.
Maybe. But I feel like
Attack.
no.
I know Attack. I know
No.
Attack.
You really?
I do.
Attack.
Wow.
It's got too much. It's got too much synth in it for
What
Maul.
is it? There's a one song that my roommate Brennan would always play. Attack.
Yeah, but it's probably the only song.
I can't remember what it's called, but
That's funny that you know Attack, dude.
I know that. I only know that one. That's the only thing from this whole conversation.
Avenged Sevenfold. I could maybe see that for Maul.
I think Under Oath.
I'm gonna throw a band out, and I don't know what kind of music it is because I came to my mind. August Burns Red.
Yeah.
Oh.
I said Red already.
Is
That's
that
what I
the same
meant by
thing?
Red.
No.
That-
But Red and August Burns Red are very different.
Oh, I forgot about that stupid band. No, I meant August.
Oh, August Burns Red. Yeah,
Yeah.
I could see Maul. Yeah. I could see Maul doing
But I
that.
feel like that's too spot on. You know what I mean? don't
I feel
know.
like Under Oath is more his thing though.
Yeah, or For Today. Yeah.
What about our boy Sheev?
Sheev.
He's more
How?
opera.
Yeah. Well, remember they went to the opera together, didn't they?
Yeah, he's definitely opera.
Phantom of the Opera. He just listened to that on repeat.
Just
Phantom of
but
the
the
Opera.
but it's the Gerard Butler soundtrack from the movie,
Oh yeah,
and only that.
that's fair. I can see that.
So he listens to that one on repeat. Leia,
She just listens to the Rent soundtrack.
The
over and
Dixie
over,
Chicks.
Over and
The-
over. The Rent.
the Dixie. No,
No,
the
not the-
you're saying the Rent soundtrack.
Yeah, it's
That's
horrible.
funny. Leia, I feel like would listen to something like
Demi Lovato.
no, nah. Give her more credit than that. She needs like a strong female artist. I guess Demi would fall into
Selena
that category.
Gomez.
Celine, did you?
The heart wants what it wants while she's thinking of Han Solo.
Nah.
No, she's probably more
Pink?
like.
Oh yeah, I could see her listening to Pink. Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see that. Or like Beyonce.
Yeah, I feel like
Yeah,
Beyonce.
probably.
I could
Or
see
Rihanna.
Beyonce. Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
Beyonce though is kind of spot on though. 'cause
Yeah.
Strong, independent woman kind of feel.
I
Carrie
would like to.
Underwood.
Oh yeah, she put her key into the side
Ooh, that she did.
of the pretty
Luke?
little souped up four wheel drive.
Blink
Uh,
182 for Luke.
Just angsty punk music.
Or probably like I feel like more like MXPX for Luke.
Family Force 5.
Oh. Yep, that's it.
Or like
but who-
Yellow
who
Card.
does-
Yellow
Yellow-
Card.
Yeah,
Or
but-
wait, is Luke Oasis? Is he Wonderwall?
Oh, probably. So typical. So typical Wonderwall.
Or no.
okay,
The
who
A
is
Day to
the Lion
Remember
King?
song. Listen, the A Day to Remember the song where I hate this town. It's so washed up. Do you remember
Yeah.
that song?
Yeah.
That is Luke too, because he hates Tatooine.
Oh, true. That's a good song.
Yeah, it is.
I almost started singing it. I'm like, I don't want to get.
Yeah, I was
pulled
like,
from
you can't say that on air.
YouTube. I'm trying to think.
Jeremiah, give us another character. This is fun.
Yeah, this is really fun. Actually, we could do a whole episode on this.
I got one.
Yeah,
Grand Moff Tarkin.
Ooh,
Grand Moff Tarkin.
Good old
Dude,
Tarkin.
he listens to the most uptight, freaking bougiest music.
No, dude, he listens to like death metal, like
Or what if he's like
Impending
something
Doom. That's what he listens to, dude.
Whoa.
He listens to
Bro, I
Impending Doom,
haven't heard that name in years,
like
Drew.
pig squeal, hardcore
Oh my
screaming
God.
music. That's what he listens to.
No, or Tarkin. Tarkin, it's either that or it's something like he loves Post Malone.
Oh yeah, something
Something
like
really out of
Malone.
character. Yeah.
or Harry Styles. No, he listens to Harry
Yes,
Styles on repeat.
yes. Bro, you know the
That's what
second he
listens
gets in his
to.
office on the Death
Woo!
Star, it's watermelon sugar.
Watermelon sugar high for
All
sure.
day.
He just sings that all day long, and
Yeah,
then a
yeah,
droid
yeah.
will walk in, or someone will come in, and then he's like,
It's just yep.
"Yeah,
Yep.
for sure, watermelon sugar." So- this is
Okay,
so fun.
Jerica says Kanan or Ezra. Kanan.
Tupac. I want to give him credit, but you know he listens to like straight up like emo music.
No.
No,
Kanan. I
he's
feel like Kanan.
Eminem.
No. Kanye.
No. That's
Like
Kanye.
older, but
Yes,
older, but like golden era Kanye.
Oh,
I don't
That
know
that
anything
like
about
the
Kanye.
good Kanye.
wait.
I mean, I
are you
guess
saying that
Kanye's all
Jesus
of Kanye's.
Conde is not good?
No, I mean all of his music is. I would say more like
Was he supposed to have
mainstream
an
Kanye.
album come out today?
I have
Wasn't
no
that a
idea.
I don't know.
rumor that
We've been watching his documentary though. It's really good.
I heard it was decent actually?
Yeah. Ezra
Ezra is
is
definitely emo.
yeah.
What would be Ezra?
All right.
Ezra, I feel like Ezra is
What
like
would be
the
on Ezra?
almost.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or what's that red? What's that? I forget the name of it.
Red jumpsuit
Yep,
apparatus.
that one. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's Ezra.
That's Ezra.
Yup, mhm.
Kylo.
What is
What do people listen to in the gym?
I would say grunge music. Kylo.
Kylo is Nirvana.
Dude, honestly, I bike like nonstop to like 90s rap, 90s.
Yeah,
and that's
dude,
all.
that stuff is great.
Ice Cube is like my favorite rapper. of
Oh
all time, dude.
yes.
He's a goat.
Vader.
The Lion
Making my way
King. I
downtown.
was gonna say the Lion King soundtrack.
I see what you're doing.
Yeah, see,
Jeremiah, give us one more. I know you're done with this.
One more. It has to be like a very
Has to be
like
a weird character.
Yeah,
a
give us
weird
something good.
character. What's Gunray.
Newt Gunray.
Gunray.
Okay. All right. This is a good one. Newt Gunray. Dude, Newt Gunray, straight up polka.
Yes. Yep.
Dude is
Yep.
100, and I'm talking like a folk polka.
Mm.
Not the stuff they play jokingly in movies. Like this, he is like so far into the polka scene, he'd never be able to live it down.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So last thing we gotta go over tonight is our socials, and
oh, Hondo
Naka.
sea shanties.
Yeah.
It's
Definitely.
just pirate music all the
pirate
time.
music.
Pirate music or like reggae. I can see reggae being good with him.
So Andrew,
Yeah.
we'll throw the ball back in quick because you used to do this every week. How do people follow us on social media?
Well, I mean, you've been talking about replacing me this whole time.
No,
But show us
those are
why you're
jokes.
irreplaceable, Andrew.
Wow, it's just the socials? That's it? That's the
And
only
the
reason?
ad that we play once a week, even though
That's true,
you're
that's-
not
I'm
here.
still-
Yeah, you're always part
You're
of
still
us.
a part of the episodes.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Jericho, the Nickelback rock star sea shanty. That's it. Has any of it changed?
No.
Have you guys
No.
changed anything?
No.
Well, I'm gonna make it easy for you. Go into your web browser on your phone or on your computer, whichever way you prefer to, or your Kindle. I don't know if people still have those.
If you do,
Or your
sell it
iPad.
and buy something better. I'm just
Yeah.
kidding.
Go to links, www.links, 2 eyes, links.co/Empire Radio. That's literally the only thing you need to do, and everything is there.
Yeah.
All of the social media links, the link to leave a voicemail, the link to join the Discord, which if you haven't, you should. It's a fun time.
Yep. YouTube.
That's easy.
Instagram, Facebook.
Yep.
Needlesslynerdy.com.
Yep.
Or,
Jeremiah's OnlyFans account.
Whoa.
It's just him eating muffins.
No.
I mean, you could actually make
but-
money on that.
We've been mentioning this for the last few weeks now, but so next Tuesday is the first week of my collab with Cinemakery. So it's our first week. Whew, it's
a doozy.
It's a doozy, and I'm telling you, my plating skills for this first week
Oh man,
is gonna blow your mind.
How many Instagram filters you got on it?
None.
Oh,
Everything is all
We have a
practical
problem.
on what I did. All the lighting, all the colors, all the setup. It's I couldn't do any better. So that's the best I could do, and so it's kind of downhill after that. But
all right.
wow, you really know the way to talk yourself up, Jeremiah.
But yes, so next week is our first week of 3 weeks. So make sure you follow Instagram to see that post, and then also follow Cinemakery too. She's great over there.
So is it just on Instagram? There's not a video on.
There will be a video on our YouTube of me making each thing, and then she's gonna make her own video that I'm just gonna put together, so that'll only be on our Empire Radio YouTube. So
Yes. So like we've been saying, I've been kind of pushing you audience to it. Like go check out our YouTube for sure. Go hit that subscribe button because Jeremiah puts in a lot of work in some of the videos he makes. I have some vlogs that should be dropping. Hopefully this week I'll have a vlog
Hey yo,
that will drop. A toy hunt vlog, kind of a little bit of both. So that just go over, subscribe over. It's free. Go over there. Go to YouTube.
It's free.
I mean, sometimes people need to know that it's free to subscribe. There's no, you can't. It's whatever. Hit that bell
this stuff-
icon, and then there's some sweet videos that will be coming out shortly. And while you're over there, go watch my reaction to episode 6. It doesn't disappoint. Because I screamed.
her plating skills are pretty fire.
Oh yeah, no.
she does a good job.
She's a beast.
Dang.
Great.
Jeremiah's gonna lose this fight for sure.
Oof.
I don't know.
We'll have to see. We have to see.
All right. There's only one way to find out.
Yeah. So next week, be excited. All right. Anything else, boys?
Andrew,
Nah.
we miss you.
I miss you guys.
And every time you come back, expect a 3-hour episode. Apparently,
basically,
Yeah. And
That's probably gonna happen.
Everything.
Remember, if you ever have the desire to, put together an EU with Andrew and surprise us.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I have actually considered that seriously.
Well,
Awesome.
Yes.
I just gotta find.
Well,
the
we
topic
need something
and
to
the
do for
time.
next week. So,
See you next
It's not gonna
week.
happen.
All right, guys. All right, so you've been listening to another amazing, wizard, sensational episode of Empire Radio. I'm Jeremiah.
I'm Drew.
And I'm Andrew.
And may the force be with you.
Always.